Chapter 1. Wu Hao, I'm sorry, I remembered my lost memories, and I still have a blood feud to avenge, so please forgive me for leaving. I promise you, I will resolve the past grudges as soon as possible and then come back to find you. Before that, promise me that you and your son will live well. Recalling in his mind the words his wife said when she looked at him with a hint of reluctance, and then turned and left resolutely, a helpless expression flashed across Wu Hao's face. But he did not stop it, because with his level of cultivation, he could not stop it. Just after his wife left, a mechanical electronic synthesized sound suddenly rang in Wu Hao's mind. Ding, the Bloodline investment system has found a host. Ding, the Bloodline investment system has been bound to the host. System, I thought I wouldn't have Goldfinger, but I didn't expect I still have Goldfinger. After repeatedly confirming that he was really bound to the system, Wu Hao was almost about to cry. Wu Hao was not a native of this world. That's right, Wu Hao was a transmigrator. The original Wu Hao came from a place called Earth, so he naturally knew about the existence of Goldfinger. As for why he transmigrated here, it was because Wu Hao was hit by an out-of-control truck when he was enthusiastically helping an old lady cross the road after a red light. However, at the critical moment, Wu Hao pushed the old lady out, and then he was crushed into meat paste. When Wu Hao opened his eyes again, he had already arrived at this mysterious fantasy world where one could cultivate immortality. After a period of understanding, Wu Hao also learned that this world was called Profound Heaven World, where the strong could live as long as the sky and have overwhelming strength. As a native earthling, it is impossible for Wu Hao to not know about the system and has no desire to cultivate immortality. Just when Wu Hao was ready to accept the binding of the system, he did not expect that the so-called system had not contacted him for a long time. Thinking of this, Wu Hao suspected that his Goldfinger might be something else, and even did a lot of experiments for this, including dripping blood into the antique ring on his index finger to see if there was any reaction. Of course, the final result was that Wu Hao lost too much blood due to a misunderstanding and passed out. After waking up, Wu Hao stopped committing suicide. Since there was no Goldfinger, he thought that his talent should be quite good. With this idea in mind, Wu Hao randomly found a sect and planned to test his talent, but he didn't expect that he was just an ordinary low-grade spiritual root. So it was no surprise that after staying in that sect for a full 10 years, Wu Hao luckily broke through from immortal to the peak of chi refining. Then, he was kicked out for failing the sect assessment. What happened next was that Wu Hao picked up a very beautiful fairy in the mountains, but she seemed to have lost her memory, and Wu Hao successfully tricked her into becoming his wife with sweet words. After 5 years of marriage, the other party finally had her own child. However, Wu Hao did not expect that after Soki-Oren gave birth to her child, she remembered her lost memories, and turned and left while shouting something about revenge. But before leaving, she still gave Wu Hao some cultivation resources and told him to practice well here, and she would definitely come back to find him. The memories stop here. Soon Wu Hao also understood the usefulness of the system. As the name suggests, Wu Hao can invest in his descendants. The better the spiritual roots of his descendants are, the different the feedback given to Wu Hao will be. Among them, the feedback of low-grade spiritual roots is 10 times, the feedback of middle-grade spiritual roots is 100 times, the feedback of high-grade spiritual roots is 1,000 times, and the feedback of top-grade spiritual roots is 10,000 times. If one's descendants have the legendary fate of being the child of destiny, then the feedback can reach a terrifying million times. After reading about the functions of the system, Wu Hao couldn't help but get excited. In other words, the more descendants he had, the higher his realm would be. If one of his descendants is a child of destiny, he probably only needs to practice to the foundation building stage, and with the feedback of 1,000,000 times, he can become a god directly. System, where is the newbie gift pack? Wu Hao suddenly remembered something and asked quickly. He had seen in Tomato's novels that the transmigrator system always came with a novice gift pack, so his shouldn't be missing one. But Wu Hao's worries were obviously unnecessary. Ding! Congratulations to the host for opening the novice gift package, and obtaining 100,000 top-grade spirit stones and the god-level technique Heavenly Emperor Wandeo Jing top-grade spirit stone, the best resource for cultivation before becoming an immortal. Heavenly Emperor Wandeo Jing, after practicing, one can be invincible in the same realm. Fighting against opponents of higher levels is a piece of cake. One can practice to the legendary realm. Note, only the host can practice. After seeing the contents of the novice gift package, Wu Hao couldn't help but gasp. Then, looking at the little baby lying in his arms, Blinking his big eyes and looking at Wu Hao innocently, an expression of anticipation appeared on Wu Hao's face. Rolong, it looks like your father's becoming stronger depends on you. Wu Rolong, Abba Abba. Wu Rolong is the baby boy born to him and his wife So Kioran, but he cannot start practicing now. He must wait until he is 8 years old, when his meridians are well nurtured and can withstand spiritual energy before he can start practicing. In other words, Wu Hao must wait another 8 years before he can start his own road to invincibility. After all, if he relies on his low-grade spiritual roots, he may not be able to break through to the foundation building stage even if he practices until his death. After all, although low-grade spiritual roots also have the qualifications to cultivate immortals, there is actually not much difference between them and ordinary people. The speed of cultivation is still extremely slow. It is considered very good if they can break through to the foundation building stage in their lifetime. Although he had god-level skills, good software was only a software problem, and the hardware could not be improved if it was sluggish. He would have to improve his talent in the later stage. Soon, 8 years passed in Wu Hao's excited heart, and the little baby boy in his arms had grown into a small and cute little boy. Although not as handsome as Wu Hao, he is still much better looking than ordinary people. And today is the day that Wu Rolong can start practicing, which also means that Wu Hao is about to start cheating. In the yard, Wu Hao looked at Wu Rolong, who was standing straight in front of him with a serious expression, and said seriously, "Son, today is the day you start practicing. Are you ready?" "Father, I'm ready." Wu Rolong shouted loudly. Wu Hao nodded with satisfaction, and then continued. "If that's the case, then I will personally guide you to start practicing." The martial arts that Wu Hao originally practiced was a yellow-grade martial arts, which had a very low upper limit. Although it is said that thousands of martial arts in the world can be practiced to become immortal, the different grades of martial arts represent one's own combat effectiveness and the amount of spiritual energy contained. No one knew So Kioran's background, but when she left, she gave Wu Hao enough resources to cultivate to the nascent soul stage and a heavenly level martial arts technique. Because the Heavenly Emperor 10,000 Dao scripture could not be practiced by Rolong, Wu Hao could only reluctantly teach Wu Rolong the heavenly grade technique left by So Kioran. At worst, he could complete it for him after he became stronger. As for Wu Hao himself, after obtaining the Heavenly Emperor's 10,000 Dao scripture, he decisively changed his original method, and the purpose of his cultivation was dissipated as a result. After all, the cultivation in the Qi refining stage is very fast, and Wu Hao wanted to have a more solid foundation, even if he was in the Qi refining stage. Because he already had experience in cultivation, Wu Hao was able to reach the peak of Qi refining again in just 8 years, even 2 years faster than when he was in the sect. P.S. Realms, Qi refining, foundation building, spiritual sea, gold core, nascent soul, soul formation, refining void, transcending tribulation, saint, divided into saint, great saint, saint king, supreme, quasi-emperor, great emperor, to be determined later. P.S. Regarding some settings of this book, feedback will not give better results, only a certain multiple of items. If readers want to give better feedback, we can add more settings later. Of course, it depends on the reader's feedback. If you want to give better feedback, you can leave a message here. The author will listen carefully to every reader's opinions. Thank you very much. P.S. The author feels it is necessary to explain the fact that changing to other techniques will disperse the power. After all, the protagonist pursues the ultimate power, so it is definitely best to disperse the power and start over. Besides, his current realm is not that powerful, he is only in the Qi refining stage. It is nothing for the protagonist to disperse his energy and start over. Chapter 2. Although Wu Hao was only at the peak of Qi refining, it was still easy for him to guide Wu Rolong in his practice. So soon, under Wu Hao's guidance, Wu Rolong successfully absorbed Qi into his body and thus broke through to the initial stage of Qi refining. Because Wu Rolong has a high-grade spiritual root, Wu Hao naturally received 1,000 times the feedback. Ding! A breakthrough has been detected for a high-grade spiritual root descendant under the host, and 1,000 times feedback has been provided to the host. As the system's voice fell, a huge and pure spiritual energy suddenly poured into Wu Hao's body, breaking Wu Hao's bottleneck in an instant. Soon, Wu Hao was promoted directly from the peak of Qi refining to the middle stage of foundation establishment. Wu Hao was actually quite satisfied with his current breakthrough. He couldn't become an immortal in one step, right? He would talk about the rest later. Anyway, the most important thing now was to urge his son to practice, and it would be better if he could marry a few more wives and have more children. Wu Hao is very coveting the millionfold repayment from the child of destiny. Father, look, I have reached the initial stage of qi refining. Wu Rolong ran to Wu Hao and said excitedly. Wu Hao sighed and said with a somewhat disappointed expression. Son, you should know that when your father was practicing, it took him less than a minute to break through to the early stage of qi refining. But now, it took you 2 full hours to break through to the early stage of qi refining. In my opinion, you are still too proud. Hearing this, a trace of shame flashed across Wu Rolong's face. He had thought that it was a great thing to enter the immortal path in just 2 hours, but he didn't expect that his father was even more powerful than him. It seems that he still needs to work hard. But what Wu Rolong didn't know was that it actually took Wu Hao a whole year to enter the qi refining stage. Otherwise, it wouldn't have taken him a full 10 years to break through to the peak of qi refining and he would have been expelled from the sect. I understand, father. I will work hard to cultivate. Wu Rolong looked at Wu Hao seriously and said, seeing this, Wu Hao nodded with satisfaction. Yes, if that's the case, I'll set a goal for you to break through to the foundation building stage within 3 years. Do you have the confidence? 3 years? I know, father. I will definitely break through to the foundation building stage within 3 years. Wu Rolong agreed without hesitation. Wu Hao took out a storage ring and handed it to Wu Rolong. Looking at his son's curious eyes, Wu Hao explained. This is a storage ring. Inside are the resources I gave you. During this period of time, you can use these top-grade spirit stones to practice. Hearing that these were all top-grade spirit stones, Wu Rolong couldn't help but gasp. He naturally knew how powerful top-grade spirit stones were. It was no exaggeration to say that even the great emperor was still using top-grade spirit stones, which showed how precious they were. The currency used by monks in Profound Heaven World is also spirit stone, and the multiplier of spirit stone is also increased by 100 times. That is to say, 1 top-grade spirit stone can be exchanged for 100 high-grade spirit stones, 10,000 middle-grade spirit stones, and 1 million low-grade spirit stones. But the most important thing is that spirit stones are also resources used by cultivators for cultivation. If Wu Rolong had top-grade spirit stones, he probably only needed 1 to break through to the peak of foundation building or even the spirit sea realm. But after Wu Hao taught him how to use the storage ring and saw the number of spirit stones inside, Wu Rolong looked at Wu Hao with a complicated expression and asked. Dad, what realm are you in? Me? I'm just an ordinary monk. Wu Hao thought about it, and then said in a low-key manner that after all, he was just a wall hanger and was not invincible yet, so he must be low-key. Wu Rolong didn't know where he learned it from, and rolled his eyes at Wu Hao. How could a cultivator like you who can take out 100,000 top-grade spirit stones be just an ordinary little cultivator? But Wu Rolong didn't say anything, he just felt extremely curious about his father's cultivation level. Since he could take out 100,000 top-grade spirit stones, his father's cultivation level should be very high. In fact, it is not the case. He is just an ordinary person in the middle stage of foundation building. Wu Hao did not pay attention to his son's thoughts at this moment. Just after he sent out 100,000 top-grade spirit stones, the system's voice rang out. Ding! It is detected that the host has sent out 100,000 top-grade spirit stones, the target is high-grade spirit roots, and 1,000-fold return has been triggered. 100 million top-grade spirit stones have been stored in the host's system space. Ding! The host has been detected to have sent out a heaven-grade martial arts. The detection target is high-grade spiritual roots, which has triggered 1,000-fold return. 1,000 heaven-grade martial arts have been stored in the host's system space. Ding! The host has sent out a Xian-level storage ring. The target has been detected as a high-grade spiritual root, and 1,000-fold return has been triggered. 1,000 Xian-level storage rings have been stored in the host's system space. Hearing the system's prompt, Wu Hao couldn't help but lower his head and ponder. If he gave the spirit stones fed back by the system to his son, would this bug be triggered again? Thinking of this, Wu Hao decided to put it into practice, but when he was about to start practicing, the system's voice rang out. Ding! The host's thoughts have been detected, the system bug has been fixed, please do not try to find system loopholes. Well, I was originally thinking about getting some resources. Wu Hao thought helplessly, but the current resources are enough for his son to use for a long time. Of course, there is another way, that is, Wu Hao uses the 100 million top-grade spirit stones fed back by the system to exchange for resources and then give them to his son, but doing so will put Wu Hao in great danger. After all, for a cultivator in the foundation establishment stage, top-grade spirit stones are indeed too precious. If a cultivator in the gold core stage knew that Wu Hao had a top-grade spirit stone, even if there was only one, I'm afraid he wouldn't be able to resist snatching it. This is obviously not a good thing for Wu Hao, who now wants to develop in a low-key manner. Of course, Wu Hao now not only has 100 million top-grade spirit stones, but also the resources left behind by Soki Orin when she left before, so he handed them over to his son without hesitation. Ding! Congratulations to the host for sending out 10 Foundation Establishment pills. You have obtained 10,000 Foundation Establishment pills. Ding! Congratulations to the host for sending out 5 Jindan pills. You have obtained 5,000 Jindan pills. Ding! Congratulations to the host for sending. Not long after, the resources left by Soki Orin increased 1,000 times in Wu Hao's hands. Unfortunately, the system would only feed back things of the same level. In other words, sending out a heaven-level technique would only feed back a heaven-level technique of the same level, and it would be the original one. But even so, the current resources are enough for Wu Rolong to practice and become an immortal. By the time Wu Rolong becomes an immortal, I'm afraid I will be able to break through to a realm above immortals. Looking at the resources in the system space, Wu Hao nodded with satisfaction, then looked at Wu Rolong and said seriously. Okay, go practice and try to break through to the foundation building stage as soon as possible. Yes, father. Soon, time passed quietly. 3 years, or even less than 3 years, in just 1 year, Wu Rolong successfully broke through to the foundation building stage. And Wu Hao successfully advanced to the Linghai realm amidst the horrifying feedback. When Wu Rolong was 15 years old, he successfully broke through to the Linghai realm, and Wu Hao also broke through to the gold core stage. By the time Wu Rolong was 18 years old, he had successfully broken through to the peak of the spiritual sea, while Wu Hao had already reached the late gold core stage. Tisk tisk tisk, it seems that the feedback I get from my son's training alone is still too little. If it continues like this, when will he be able to break through to the great emperor? Wu Hao thought to himself that he was now in the late gold core stage and his lifespan had reached a terrifying 1,000 years. Cultivating immortals is itself a matter of going against the will of heaven. Every time one succeeds in going against the will of heaven, one can gain great benefits, which naturally includes the increase of lifespan. The foundation establishment stage can reach 200 years old, the spiritual sea stage can reach 500 years old, the gold core stage can reach 1,000 years old, the nascent soul stage can reach 3,000 years old, and the soul formation stage can last for 10,000 years. Refining void takes 30,000 years, transcending tribulation takes 100,000 years, sage takes 200,000 years, supreme takes 500,000 years, quasi-emperor takes 600,000 years, and great emperor takes 1 million years. But for Wu Hao now, the speed of his realm improvement is still too slow. It seems that it is time for Rolong to get married and have children. Thinking of this, Wu Hao couldn't help but look at Wu Rolong, who was meditating and practicing. But Wu Rolong shuddered and felt a little curious. Strange, why am I sneezing? Is it because mom misses me? Chapter 3. Dad, do I really want to get married and have children? Wu Rolong looked embarrassed and said reluctantly. He was originally devoted to cultivating immortality and had never considered matters of love. If his father had not said that, he might not have even had such an idea. Wu Hao sighed and spoke with a hint of melancholy in his tone. Rolong, do you know what your mother said when she left? She said she hoped that when she returned to the Wu family, she would be able to see a happy scene with children and grandchildren. Besides, this huge Wu family would be a little too empty with just the two of us, so I want to hug my grandson. Do you know that? Looking at his father's serious face, Wu Rolong kept muttering in his heart, you said you wanted to find a daughter-in-law, but how can I find one for you? But there was no other way, since he was a filial son, he gritted his teeth and agreed. But Dad, where can I find a wife? Aren't we living in the mountains now? Wu Rolong thought of something at this time and asked in a daze. Wu Hao was stunned for a moment, then he remembered that they had been living in the mountains for more than 10 years. When they learned that their talent in cultivation was extremely mediocre and they did not have gold finger, they chose to live in seclusion in the mountains. It was because of this that he met his wife Soki Orin in this mountain. The latter part is because he wanted to keep a low profile, so he has been living in seclusion in the mountains. In other words, the reason why his son did not find a daughter-in-law for him is because he has never been in contact with women? Thinking of this, Wu Hao coughed and then said very seriously. Well, in that case, I will take you to visit the nearby cities today. If there is a high-quality and outstanding woman you like, just tell me and I will propose marriage to her for you. Of course, don't choose one with a very powerful background. Later, Wu Hao reminded him that he had some understanding of the situation outside before he came in to live in seclusion, so he knew that the most powerful city lords in those cities were only in the nascent soul stage. As long as he kept a low profile, he should be fine. When Wu Rolong heard that he could go out for a walk, his eyes suddenly lit up. He had been staying here for 18 years and he was already bored of it. If his father had not told him not to go out, he would have sneaked out to play long ago. Now that he can finally go out, how could Wu Rolong not be happy? Let's go, we're heading to the city outside. After Wu Hao finished speaking, he walked out of the yard. Seeing this, Wu Rolong hurriedly followed him. In the profound heaven world, most of the land is ownerless, so after living in seclusion in the mountains, Wu Hao enclosed a large part of the land as a yard. I don't know if it's because Wu Hao is lucky or what, but no monsters have come to cause trouble in recent years. On the way, Wu Rolong was as excited as a child, looking left and touching things right. Wu Hao did not stop him. After all, Wu Rolong stayed at home until he was 18 years old, and most of his knowledge of profound heaven world came from his own narration. Not long after, under the leadership of Wu Hao, the two finally arrived at a nearby city. They saw a plaque hanging above the city with 3 big words Sunset City written on it. There were pedestrians and cultivators coming and going on the city gate, presenting a prosperous scene with an endless stream of people. It was the first time that Wu Rolong saw a human being other than his father. He suddenly became excited and shouted. Dad, look, it's a person. Okay, I got it. Wu Hao suddenly felt several strange looks coming from the surroundings, and awkwardly stopped the excited Wu Rolong. It's my own problem. I should bring Rolong to Sunset City more often. I searched the storage ring and found that most of the spirit stones were top grade, but there were also quite a few low grade and middle grade spirit stones. The rule of Sunset City was that mortals had to pay an entrance fee of 50 cents to enter. Immortal cultivators need to pay 5 low-grade spirit stones, so it is a problem for cultivators of lower realms to enter and exit Sunset City freely. After paying 10 low-grade spirit stones, Wu Hao brought Wu Rolong into Sunset City. This was the first time Wu Hao had re-entered a human city in 18 years. After entering Sunset City, Wu Hao and Wu Rolong saw an extremely magnificent city scene. There were vendors and pedestrians everywhere. Although most of them were mortals, there were also quite a few cultivators, probably 2 out of every 10 people. Looking at the scene in front of him, Wu Rolong was thinking about what to do next, and at this moment Wu Hao spoke. Let's go, let's find an inn and get a room to rest. It will take time to find a daughter-in-law. After all, a daughter-in-law cannot be chosen casually. At least one must have the cultivation base of the foundation establishment stage to become Wu Hao's daughter-in-law. Although it is difficult for those with high cultivation base to give birth to offspring, it is also easier for those with higher cultivation base to give birth to offspring with spiritual roots. Regarding this, Wu Rolong naturally listened to his father. The father and son soon arrived at an inn. In front of the shocked look of the innkeeper, he took out 20 middle-grade spirit stones and booked 2 top-grade private rooms. Inside the Sunset City Inn, there are private rooms specially provided for cultivators, which are divided into 4 rooms, Tiandi Xian Huang. The yellow room can be rented for only 1 low-grade spirit stone, but it can only be rented for 1 day. The Xian number private room costs 10 low-grade spirit stones a day, the Di number private room costs 50 low-grade spirit stones a day, and the Tian number private room costs 100 low-grade spirit stones a day. Wu Hao and his companions didn't know how long they would need to stay, so they rented a room for 10 days for the time being. Sitting on the bed in the number 1 private room, Wu Hao waved his hand and called the shopkeeper over. My dear guest, what do you want to talk to me about? The shopkeeper looked at Wu Hao in front of him and asked with some trepidation. After all, Wu Hao in front of him could take out 20 middle-grade spirit stones as room fee without even blinking an eye, and he didn't even ask for change. As long as he was not stupid, he could see that Wu Hao was definitely not an ordinary person. Wu Hao considered it for a moment before asking. Shopkeeper, this is my first time in Sunset City. This time, I want to find a wife for my son. I wonder if you have any ideas. Don't worry, I just want her to have a cultivation level above the foundation establishment stage and a spiritual root in her body of middle grade or above. I can agree on any conditions. Of course, she must be a decent person. As long as you can come up with something suitable, this middle grade spirit stone will be your reward. After hearing Wu Hao's words and seeing Wu Hao take out another middle grade spirit stone, the shopkeeper's eyes suddenly lit up. He himself is also a cultivator, but his cultivation level is not high. He has just reached the foundation building stage. However, he did not detect Wu Hao's aura at all, which shows that Wu Hao's cultivation level is definitely above his. Even combined with the fact that Wu Hao can casually take out middle-grade spirit stones as a reward, it is likely that Wu Hao's cultivation level has at least reached the nascent soul stage. Thinking of this, the shopkeeper suddenly became nervous and quickly waved his hand to refuse. It is my honor to serve you, senior. Please take back the spirit stone. He was really worried that Wu Hao would kill him after he received the middle-grade spirit stone, so for the sake of safety, he absolutely could not accept it. But Wu Hao suddenly became anxious and said with a stern face. The shopkeeper doesn't want to take my spirit stones. Does that mean he looks down on me? After saying that, a faint breath emanated from Wu Hao's body, which directly frightened the shopkeeper. In his perception, Wu Hao's breath was like a stormy sea, and he was just a small boat in it, which could be overturned at any time. Thinking of this, the shopkeeper dared not refuse, and quickly took the middle-grade spirit stone, and then told the identity information of the famous lady in Sunset City. P.S. I sincerely apologize to all readers because of the author's negligence that I forgot that the author also has such a thing as low-grade spiritual stones. I am very sorry. Moreover, for the current protagonist, there is no difference between top-grade spiritual stones and low-grade spiritual stones. After all, the protagonist himself does not need them, and his son cannot use them up. Moreover, even if he gives them to the younger generation, there will be no feedback. Therefore, for the protagonist, there is no difference between sending top-grade spiritual stones and low-grade spiritual stones, because the protagonist can't use them anyway. However, the author did not expect that many people would think this was a poisonous point. It was the author's negligence. I will correct it later. I apologize. Chapter 4. Wu Hao also learned from the shopkeeper about 5 more suitable targets. Of course, they were about the same age as his son. Although the age difference was not a big deal in the immortal cultivation world, Ralong was still young, and Wu Hao still wanted his son to marry the person he loved. It would be great if I could give him a few or even dozens of grandchildren after we get married. As for the kind of person his son is, as a father, Wu Hao naturally knows him very well. He is extremely kind and upright, a real good man. In addition, he inherited his Enso Oran's good looks, so he is considered a handsome guy even among a group of immortal cultivators. The shopkeeper recommended to Wu Hao the eldest daughters of the 4 top gold core families in Sunset City and the eldest daughter of the city lord's mansion. Later, as Wu Hao observed them one by one, he directly excluded the eldest daughters of the 4 major families on the grounds that they were not good people. On the road, Wu Hao would disguise himself as a poor beggar and go up to beg from the 4 eldest daughters, but he did not expect that they would directly let their men beat him away. The people from the 4 major families did not expect that they would lose the opportunity to become immortals because of this. Then the final target was only the eldest daughter of the city lord's mansion. According to the information Wu Hao obtained, the eldest daughter of the city lord's mansion was named Su Qingxiu, and she was the same age as his son, both were 18 years old. It's just that his talent is slightly worse than his son's. He only has middle-grade spiritual roots, so he is only in the initial stage of foundation building. Soon, Wu Hao investigated the route that Su Qingxiu would take every day. At the same time, he investigated the reputation of Miss Su Qingxiu in Sunset City. Unexpectedly, the reputation was surprisingly good. Everyone said that Su Qingxiu was a good person, and even the most beautiful woman in Sunset City. But what others said could only be used as a reference. Wu Hao still preferred to verify it himself. Until he was lying on the road and Miss Su Qingxiu asked the maid beside her to take her to the hospital, Wu Hao finally decided to make Su Qingxiu his daughter-in-law. After doing all this, Wu Hao came to Wu Ralong with Su Qingxiu's portrait and spoke. Son, this is the person your father has chosen for you. Take a look at him and see if you like him. Originally Wu Hao thought that his son would be shy when he saw Su Qingxiu's portrait, but he didn't expect Wu Ralong's expression to change slightly, and he hesitated for a moment. Wu Hao obviously saw the clue, frowned, realized that something was wrong, and asked directly. Son, it looks like you know the other person. Yeah, I saw him some time ago. Wu Rolong did not hide anything and told Su Kingxiu that he met her on the road the day before and how they got to know each other. Wu Hao was immediately delighted when he heard this. It seemed that Su Kingxiu did not dislike her son. Nowadays, no dislike equals liking, which meant that there was a high probability that this marriage would be successful. So when he heard his father asking him to pursue Su Kingxiu, Wu Rolong did not object. And with the help of Wu Hao, a boss-level military strategist, Wu Rolong successfully won Su Kingxiu. A full half-month had passed by this time, and after hearing Su Kingxiu agree to her son's confession, Wu Hao stood up immediately and spoke. Let's go, follow me to the city lord's mansion and propose marriage. Yes, father. After hearing his father's words, Wu Rolong's tone was also extremely excited. After all, how could Wu Rolong not be excited about being able to marry the girl he loved? Soon, under the leadership of Wu Hao, the two came to the city lord's mansion. At the door of the city lord's mansion stood two guards at the peak of Qi refining. After seeing Wu Hao and Wu Rolong, they stopped them. Stop, what are you two doing in my city lord's mansion? Please let the two of you know that we are here to discuss something important with the city lord. Wu Hao said with a warm smile on his face, coming to propose marriage is indeed to discuss important matters. After the two guards took a look at Wu Hao and Wu Rolong, they also felt that the two of them had an extraordinary temperament, so they did not stop them, but spoke instead. Please wait here for a while. I will go and inform the city lord. One of the guards turned and left after saying this, so Wu Hao and Wu Rolong were not in a hurry. Soon, the guard came back and spoke. Please come in, the city lord is already waiting for you in the hall. Thank you very much. Wu Hao said this politely and went straight in, and Wu Rolong quickly followed. When the two arrived at the main hall of the city lord's mansion, they saw a middle-aged man with an extremely serious expression sitting in the main seat of the hall. It was Su-an, the city lord of Sunset City. At this time, Su-an's expression was a little confused. He was very curious about who would come to visit him. The moment he saw Wu Hao, Su-an's expression became solemn. As an early nascent soul cultivator, he could not see through the realm of the cultivator in front of him. It seemed that he was a strong man. Of course, thanks to the power of the Heavenly Emperor's 10,000 Dao Sutra, unless one's realm is two major realms above Wu Hao's, it is impossible to tell what realm Wu Hao is at. Fellow Daoist, what should I call you? After realizing Wu Hao's extraordinary ability, Su-an stood up, looked at Wu Hao with a smile on his face and asked. Wu Hao waved his hand and then spoke. Fellow Daoist, just call me Old Wu. So you are fellow Daoist Wu. I have heard of your name for a long time. Su-an also looked as if he had suddenly realized something, but in fact he had never heard of it before, so he pretended to be admiring and said so. But Wu Hao did not expose him, because he came here today to propose marriage for his son. So Wu Hao quickly got straight to the point and told her that he came here today to propose marriage. However, the moment he finished speaking, Su-an's expression suddenly became extremely gloomy. Fellow Daoist Wu, if you are here to propose marriage, I probably can't agree. I will only see my daughter's choice. If my daughter likes it, that's fine, but if my daughter doesn't like it, I won't force it. Ha ha ha, you can rest assured about this, old Su. My Rolong is already with your Kingxiu. You just need to ask your Kingxiu to come over and you will know. Wu Hao smiled and said. Su-an looked suspicious when he heard this, but he still asked his daughter to come over. Unexpectedly, when Su Kingxiu arrived and saw Wu Rolong standing next to Wu Hao, her expression became extremely shy. How could Su-an not understand that it seemed that his daughter was really having an affair with the other party's son? Just when Su-an was about to say something, Wu Hao spoke up, took out a storage ring and started talking. Don't accuse me of being stingy, Lao Su. This is my betrothal gift. Su-an was also a little curious about how much betrothal gift Wu Hao could come up with, but after seeing what was inside, Su-an fell silent, then stood up and said with a smile on his face. Old Wu, don't say anything. Let the child decide his own affairs. How could Su-an have the room to refuse? In terms of strength, he felt that he was definitely no match for Wu Hao. In terms of financial resources, Wu Hao had already thrown out 100 top-grade spirit stones as a betrothal gift. You have to know that those are top-grade spirit stones. Let alone 100 of them, he can't even take out 10. Since Wu Hao is so sincere, how could he refuse? Of course, the most important thing is that the two children are in love with each other, otherwise Su-un might not agree. Although he didn't know the exact origin of Wu Hao's family, if they could come up with 100 top-grade spirit stones as a betrothal gift, then it definitely couldn't be that simple. It would definitely not be a loss for his daughter to let her marry Wu Rolong. As for why he gave Su-un 100 top-grade spirit stones as a betrothal gift, Wu Hao had fully considered the reason. After all, Su-un was the father of his daughter-in-law Su Qingxiu. If the resources were not in place, Su-un would not be able to improve his realm and would die one day. At that time, Su Qingxiu was already a member of their Wu family. If Su-un died, Su Qingxiu would definitely be very sad, so Wu Hao generously took out 100 top-grade spirit stones to help Su-un improve his cultivation. After all, for Wu Hao now, 100 top-grade spirit stones are nothing at all, and he can't use them. Wu Rolong has been practicing for 10 years and has only used less than 50 top-grade spirit stones. It would be better for him to take out 100 to give to Su-un as a betrothal gift. Wu Hao actually already had some ideas about how to acquire resources, but he still needed to wait for his son to free up his hands and for the Wu family to grow a little stronger before he could better execute the plan. Soon the two of them discussed the date of their child's wedding. Because Wu Hao was in a hurry, they quickly decided to have the wedding in half a month. The news of the city lord's mansion's eldest daughter's wedding soon spread throughout Sunset City, and everyone was shocked. After all, in the eyes of the cultivators of Sunset City, Su Qingxiu was like an unattainable flower on the mountain top. So many people were curious about who could win Su Qingxiu. There were even people from the 4 major families who went to cause trouble, but they were decisively eliminated by Wu Hao. As this was an important event in the life of his son, Wu Hao naturally would not allow any mistakes. Even if there are gold core masters in the 4 major families, they are still no match for Wu Hao. It's probably because their martial arts are too low level and their foundation is too shallow. That day is also known as the end of the 4 major families. Chapter 5. 5 years passed quickly. During these 5 years, with the continuous efforts of Wu Rolong and Su Qingxiu, their first child was finally about to be born. Outside the delivery room, Wu Rolong paced back and forth, appearing extremely nervous. Although he had now broken through to the gold core stage, he still appeared extremely nervous and worried at this time. Look at your state. Don't be too nervous. Qingxiu is a cultivator at the peak of the foundation building stage after all. She will be fine. Wu Hao has also been promoted to the nascent soul stage because Wu Rolong broke through to the middle stage of gold core. However, he is still not satisfied. If one day the number of bloodline members in his family reaches 10,000, it may only take him 100 years to break through to the great emperor. Soon, with a loud and clear baby cry coming from the delivery room, the midwife came out quickly holding an extremely cute baby. Congratulations, master and young master, it's a son. Is this my child? Carefully taking the child from the hands of the real estate agent, Wu Rolong looked at the little guy in his arms who had not yet opened his eyes. Only at this moment did he truly feel that his burden had become heavier from now on. Not long after, Su Qingxiu, who had just given birth, walked out of the delivery room dressed, but her face was still a little pale. Why don't you need to sit in confinement? What a joke! How could an immortal cultivator need to observe confinement after childbirth? Dad, please pick a name for my child. Wu Rolong looked at Wu Hao standing aside and said with a very serious look. Su Qingxiu also looked at Wu Hao. Wu Hao pondered for a moment before speaking slowly. Since he is my grandson, Wu Hao, let's name him Wu Qiankun. Qiankun, Wudong Qiankun, Dad, do you mean that you want this child to reach the powerful realm of Wudong Qiankun in the future? What a good name! Wu Rolong murmured to himself, his eyes lighting up. But Wu Hao swore that he really didn't think so much. He just wanted to have some fun and wanted to give his grandson a name that resembled the protagonist. But it was obvious that not everyone with a name that sounded like the protagonist would be the protagonist. When Wu Hao saw his grandson just now, he had already seen his talent. It was just a middle-grade spiritual route, but it was better than nothing. You two have to work harder. I really hope to see our Wu family grow stronger soon. Hearing this, Su Qingxiu's face turned red with shame, while Wu Rolong spoke seriously. Guaranteed to complete the mission. All right, all right. Although it is important to strengthen our Wu family, you should not delay your cultivation. Wu Hao said again at this moment. After all, one of them is his son and the other is his daughter-in-law. Wu Hao naturally can't bear to see them slack off in their cultivation. But time passed quickly and another 2 years passed. During these 2 years, although Wu Raolong and Su Qingxiu were still working hard to strengthen the Wu family, they did not slack off in their cultivation. So after that, Wu Raolong successfully broke through to the peak of Gold Core, Su Qingxiu was promoted to the spiritual sea realm, and she became pregnant again. It's just that his talent is not very good, it's just a high-grade spiritual root. After consulting Wu Hao's opinion, the couple decided to name their second child Wu Xianyuan. Time flies, and 6 years passed quickly. During these 6 years, Wu Raolong and Su Qingxiu gave birth to 2 sons, named Wu Wanggu and Wu Qinlong respectively. As for realm, Wu Raolong has broken through to the early stage of nascent soul, while Su Qingxiu has also successfully broken through to the early stage of gold core. As for the talents of the 2 grandsons, they are respectively high-grade spiritual roots and low-grade spiritual roots. Wu Hao was not surprised. Although his 4th grandson Wu Qinlong only had low-grade spiritual roots, Wu Hao had no shortage of resources. So even if he smashed him, he could make Wu Qinlong become an immortal. He was so arrogant. During these 6 years, Wu Hao's cultivation level did not improve so quickly. After all, there was only one Wu family member, Wu Raolong, who was practicing in the entire Wu family, so his progress was naturally slow. So now Wu Hao is only at the peak of nascent soul stage. Fortunately, from today on, his eldest grandson Wu Qiankan can also start practicing. This is good news for Wu Hao. After all, it means that in 10 years his eldest grandson will be able to marry and have children. By then, the Wu family will have more descendants, and his own cultivation level will definitely improve faster. At the same time, in order to make it easier for his descendants to find suitable Taoist partners, Wu Hao also moved the entire Wu Hao city to Sunset City, which also made it convenient for Su Qingxiu to go home when she missed home. However, even though Wu Hao gave Su An 100 top-grade spirit stones as a betrothal gift, Su An's improvement in cultivation was still not optimistic. He only broke through from the early nascent soul stage to the late nascent soul stage. Under Wu Hao's guidance, the eldest grandson also successfully practiced the family's martial arts 5 elements Yin and Yang Sutra, the martial arts left behind by So Kyoran when she left, and successfully advanced to the Qi refining stage. Of course, as Wu Qiankan broke through to the initial stage of Qi refining, Wu Hao did not react much. After all, Wu Qiankan only had middle-grade spiritual roots, which would only give him 100 times the feedback. The current breakthrough did not bring much improvement to him, but fortunately it would last for a long time, and the main point was that it was a future investment. In addition, soon, another 10 years passed. During these 10 years, with the crazy investment of resources, Wu Raolong was successfully promoted to the late nascent soul stage, and Wu Qiankan had also become a cultivator at the peak of the spirit sea. Under such circumstances, Wu Hao also successfully advanced to the middle stage of soul formation, and his lifespan could reach 10,000 years. As for offspring, Wu Raolong and Su Qingxiu successfully gave birth to 3 sons and a daughter through their unremitting efforts. They are the 5th grandson Wu Wandao, the 6th grandson Wu Tiankan, the 7th grandson Wu Qishan, and the 8th granddaughter Wu Shuiying. The talents are high-grade spiritual roots, middle-grade spiritual roots, top-grade spiritual roots and middle-grade spiritual roots. This was the first time that Wu Hao saw the existence of a top-grade spiritual root. You know, once a top-grade spiritual root comes into the world, even a quasi-emperor would probably not be able to resist coming out to recruit a disciple. After all, it is extremely difficult for immortal cultivators to appear. There may not be one low-grade spiritual root among 10,000 people, and there may not be one middle-grade spiritual root among 10,000 low-grade spiritual roots. In other words, it may not be possible to find a person with top-grade spiritual roots among billions of people. Once one appears, unless there are no accidents, he or she will definitely be able to break through to the supreme or even the quasi-emperor. With a little luck and chance, he might become the great emperor. But what makes Wu Hao most excited now is that his eldest grandson Wu Qiankan has finally come of age, and it is time for him to get married and have children. Chapter 6. Grandpa, I'm still young, do I really need to get married and have children? Wu Qiankan looked at his grandfather who was urging him to get married and have children, and a hint of helplessness flashed across his face. Wu Hao, however, gave an earnest admonition. Qian Kun, you have to know that the stronger a cultivator becomes, the harder it is to have children. Since you are not that strong yet, maybe you can have more children. But if you become stronger and want to have children, it won't be as easy as it is now. But When Wu Kyunkan was about to say something, he was interrupted by Wu Hao. Okay, I won't say that grandpa is pushing you too hard, as long as you get married within a year. After hearing what Wu Hao said, what else could Wu Kyunkan do? He could only agree helplessly. Wu Hao was not making false statements about how it was difficult for a person with a strong cultivation base to give birth to an offspring. Otherwise, if the great emperor was very fertile, the entire profound heaven world would probably be the offspring of the great emperor. After all, the benefit of spiritual practice is that it increases lifespan, but the disadvantage is naturally that it makes it difficult to have children. With Wu Hao's urging, Wu Kyunkan, who was originally concentrating on his cultivation, had no choice but to go out to Sunset City to find a suitable partner to marry. However, because the Wu family was extremely powerful in the entire Sunset City, many people came to him after hearing that Wu Kyunkan was looking for a wife, and naturally reported it to Su-an. Old Wu, I heard that Kyunkan is looking for a wife. After Su-an arrived at the Wu family, he came to Wu Hao and asked. Wu Hao sighed and said with a melancholy tone. Yes, the child is old enough, it's time to get married. If that's the case, then how about I introduce someone to Kyunkan? He's my grandson after all. Su-an pondered for a moment before speaking. Hearing this, Wu Hao cast a curious look at Su-an. Do you have a channel? Yes, there is a saint girl from a nearby sect, her name is Bai Yu. She is 18 years old, and her cultivation is in the middle stage of foundation building. Wu Hao also learned from Su-an that there were many immortal sects around Sunset City, and Bai Yu was the saint of one of them called Jade Water Sect. Wu Hao of Jade Water Sect knew that the ancestor of the sect was also a strong man in the early stage of Yuanying. After settling down in Sunset City, Wu Hao has investigated the forces around Sunset City for safety reasons. The most powerful of them is a force called Bloodstained Sect. The strongest person in the sect is at the peak of soul formation, and is not someone that Wu Hao can challenge now. Wu Hao thinks so. After pondering for a long while, Wu Hao looked at Su-an suspiciously and asked. Lao Su, why do I feel like you have been planning this for a long time? Hehe, Kyunkan is my grandson, I will definitely make plans for his marriage. Su-an did not hesitate and agreed. Soon, the two of them joined forces and went to the Jade Water Sect to propose a marriage plan. Now, let alone Wu Hao, even Wu Rolong can easily destroy the entire Jade Water Sect, so after hearing that she was going to marry the young master of the Wu family, the leader of the Jade Water Sect naturally agreed without hesitation. As for the betrothal gift, you can just give 100 top-grade spirit stones. Not to mention 100 top-grade spirit stones, even 10 top-grade spirit stones are not something that a mere Jade Water Sect can come up with. Under the pressure of strength and financial resources, Jade Water Sect had no choice but to agree. As for Bai Yu himself, he had no objection. After meeting Wu Kyunkan, the two quickly decided to get married in half a year. After all, Wu Kyunkan was naturally talented, and the Wu family had abundant resources to spend. Although he is only 18 years old, his cultivation has reached the peak of the spiritual sea. Not to mention in a small Sunset City, even in some top forces he can become a direct disciple. So naturally Bai Yu likes Wu Kyunkan more, but it's just like. As for feelings, let's talk about it later. Wu Hao observed the personalities of these two people and thought that if he didn't interfere, there would be a high probability that they would be able to be together if they met. If you ask Wu Hao how he knew this, don't ask. Just say that this is the intuition of a top master in the love field. Soon another 3 years passed. Under Wu Hao's encouragement, Wu Kyunkan and Bai Yu gradually fell in love with each other, and soon brought the Wu family's first fourth-generation child. Wu Rolong, who was waiting outside the delivery room, looked at Wu Kyunkan pacing back and forth anxiously and said unhappily. Why are you so nervous? My daughter-in-law is a cultivator. How could a cultivator have a difficult birth? But before Wu Kyunkan could say anything, Wu Hao slapped Wu Rolong on the back of the head and said unhappily. You were more nervous than Qian-kun back then. It's not that the person in charge is confused, but the bystander can see clearly. Wu Rolong said unhappily. Now that he has reached the late nascent soul stage, his advancement speed has naturally slowed down. Just when Wu Kyunkan was about to say something, the sky outside suddenly changed. I saw colorful rays of light in the sky outside. I could see them clearly from thousands of miles away. I could even see terrifying shadows in the clouds. With the appearance of this strange phenomenon, all the powerful people in the entire profound heaven world opened their eyes. When they were about to investigate where the strange phenomenon appeared, they were stopped by Wu Hao. Even so, the movement of the strange phenomenon was still noticed by many powerful people. It is a sign of destiny. A person of great fortune has been born. Come, go find him and make sure he is accepted by our Penglay Island. Hiss, the strong worship, this is a man of great luck, if we get him, we can get the world, even if we have to turn the entire profound heaven world upside down, we must find him. That direction seems to be in the southern domain. Go find him. Although Wu Hao did not hear what they said, he could not have guessed that because of his grandson, the water in the entire southern domain would probably begin to surge. Dad, what's going on? Wu Rolong was also shocked by the sudden change, and his expression became serious. Wu Hao took a deep breath, then looked in the direction of the delivery room and murmured. It seems that my grandson is not a simple person. As Wu Hao's thought came to an end, the system's voice rang out. Ding, the child of destiny has been detected among the host's descendants. So he is the child of destiny? If that's the case, then everything can be explained. I just hope that this child of destiny will not bring any disaster to my Wu family. Wu Hao secretly thought in his heart that although the millionfold feedback from the Son of Destiny made Wu Hao very excited, he also knew deeply that every family with a Son of Destiny would either have to ascend to heaven as a whole family or sacrifice the whole family. But there is no other way. Now that the Son of Destiny has appeared, and he is his great-grandson, he can only do his best and try to lead the entire Wu family to success. But with the help of the system, it shouldn't be very difficult. Chapter 7. Grandpa, please give my son a name. Wu Qianqan held his son in his arms and came to Wu Hao, his eyes full of anticipation. After all, their names were given by Wu Hao. Carefully taking his great-grandson from Wu Qianqan's arms, and looking at the little fellow who was still sucking his finger, Wu Hao's mind suddenly revealed the other party's identity. Name, to be determined identity, Son of Destiny, the reincarnation of a powerful being talent, top-grade spiritual roots constitution, ancient holy body. Looking at the information from his great-grandson, Wu Hao pondered for a long time before speaking. He has been extraordinary since he was born, so let's call him Wu Yifan. I hope he won't attract too much attention in his life. Grandpa, isn't this name a bit, not very good? Wu Qianqan asked hesitantly. But Wu Hao shook his head and spoke in an extremely serious tone. Didn't you notice the strange phenomena that Yifan brought when he was born? Our Wu family doesn't have the power to protect him. There are many forces in the entire profound heaven world that are much more powerful than our Wu family. So the meaning of giving him this name is that we hope he can live a peaceful life. Only ordinary people can be safe. After hearing his grandfather's words, Wu Qianqan finally understood his grandfather's good intentions and couldn't help but be moved. Because Wu Hao took action to cover up the strange phenomenon, even if the powerful forces of profound heaven world knew that the lucky man was in the southern domain, they could not find Wu Yifan's location for a while. 8 years passed quietly like this. During these 8 years, the 3 generations of the Wu family basically began to practice, and Wu Rolong and Su Qingxiu also suspended their birth plans and began to practice wholeheartedly. Of course, the position of the head of the family is naturally assumed by Wu Rolong, so now Wu Rolong has to practice and take care of family affairs at the same time, so the pressure is quite high. However, since the Wu family is not very big now and the population is not very large, there are not many family affairs that need to be taken care of. Grandfather, can I start practicing now? Wu Yifan has now grown into a handsome young man. Today is his 8th birthday, so he ran to Wu Hao early in the morning and asked excitedly. Wu Hao pondered for a moment, then nodded. In fact, Wu Hao had also thought carefully about Wu Yifan's method of cultivation. As Wu Yifan was the son of destiny and possessed the ancient saint body, ordinary cultivation methods would only be a burden to him. Therefore, during the past 8 years, Wu Hao had been searching everywhere for a method suitable for the cultivation of the ancient saint body, and he actually found it. This is a technique that Grandpa found specifically for you. It's called the ancient sacred technique. If you practice it to great accomplishment, you can rival the great emperor with just your physical strength. Hearing his great-grandfather's words, Wu Yifan's eyes suddenly lit up and he spoke in an extremely excited tone. Grandfather, I want to practice, I want to rival the great emperor. Okay, great-grandfather will teach you how to practice now. A satisfied expression also appeared on Wu Hao's face. Fortunately, this era was not as good as the era he knew before. The talent of the ancient saint body was not cut off by the heavenly Dao. Therefore, Wu Yifan's upper limit in the future would definitely be higher than that of the heavenly emperor. Soon, Wu Hao successfully taught Wu Yifan how to practice. In just a few breaths, with Wu Hao's resources, Wu Yifan's cultivation level soared all the way and he directly stepped into the peak of qi refining. He was only one step away from breaking through to the foundation establishment stage. But he was suppressed by Wu Hao. There was no other reason. The path of cultivation requires one to take one step at a time. One must settle down before breaking through to the foundation building stage. Only by laying a solid foundation can Wu Yifan go higher and further in the future. Although he only broke through to the peak of qi refining, but with the feedback of 1,000,000 times, Wu Hao's cultivation could not help but explosively improve in just a moment. Originally, Wu Hao was only at the peak of soul formation, but because Wu Yifan began to practice, Wu Hao's realm could not be held back and he directly broke through to the middle stage of void refining. "Grandpa, what are you doing?" Wu Yifan looked at Wu Hao with some confusion and asked. Wu Hao shook his head and spoke in a very serious tone. "Yifan, you must remember that you cannot be impatient when practicing. Just like a towering building, each realm requires you to accumulate and polish your foundation before you can break through. Only in this way can you reach a more powerful realm in the future. Do you understand?" "I see." Wu Yifan suddenly understood what was going on after hearing this, and nodded in agreement. Wu Hao then revealed a satisfied expression. After all, Wu Yifan's future ceiling is extremely high. Relying on Wu Yifan himself, he can definitely reach an incredibly powerful level. Soon, the fourth generation of the Wu family also began to practice, and Wu Hao's realm began to improve with the continuous practice of everyone in the Wu family. 10 years passed, and as Wu Yifan successfully broke through to the gold core stage, Wu Hao also successfully advanced to the peak of transcending tribulation, and was only one step away from becoming the legendary saint. You must stay calm. If you cannot become the great emperor, there are still great dangers in the entire profound heaven world. Wu Hao took a deep breath and clenched his fists. He was not even 100 years old, but he had already become a transcending tribulation peak. This was an incredible thing even in the entire profound heaven world. But Wu Hao knew that he was only at the peak of transcending tribulation. Although Wu Hao could compete with saints due to his powerful skills, he would surely die if he faced the great sage. Therefore, the most urgent task was to become stronger. Today is the day of the coming-of-age ceremony of the first fourth generation of the Wu family. When Wu Hao was preparing to arrange a marriage for Wu Yifan, he received news from Wu Qianqan that Wu Yifan was about to leave the Wu family and go out to explore the world. "Grandpa, you came at the right time. I was planning to go out and explore the world, but my father and the others wouldn't let me go." At this time in the Wu family hall, standing in front of Wu Yifan were Wu Rolong, Wu Qianqan, Su Qingxiu, and Bai Yu. After seeing Wu Hao coming, Wu Yifan couldn't help but act coquettishly to Wu Hao. After all, in Wu Yifan's impression, his great-grandfather doted on him the most. As long as he acted coquettishly, his great-grandfather would definitely agree. Sure enough, after he opened his mouth, Wu Hao sighed, then looked at Wu Yifan and asked again in an extremely serious tone. "Are you really planning to go out and gain experience?" "Well, great-grandfather, I can feel that life in the Wu family is too peaceful and not suitable for my cultivation method," Wu Yifan said with an extremely firm expression. He possesses an ancient holy body, but has been practicing in the extremely safe environment of the Wu family, which is extremely detrimental to his growth. Wu Hao naturally thought of this, so he did not stop them. He looked at Wu Rolong and Wu Qianqan and tried to dissuade them. When the child grows up, he will eventually go out and explore the world. Just remember that the Wu family will always welcome you back. After hearing his great-grandfather's words, Wu Yifan's face clearly showed a happy expression. "Thank you, great-grandfather." Now that Wu Hao has spoken, what else can Wu Rolong and Wu Qianqan say? As parents, they naturally want their children to be safe. But this is not a reason to strangle the child in the cradle. After giving some instructions, Wu Yifan still left the Wu family without anyone knowing. Standing in the sky, Wu Hao sighed. It turned out that the children of destiny were not content with what they were doing. However, it was better for them to go out. The children of destiny all grew up quickly in many dangers. This means that after leaving the Wu family, Wu Yifan's breakthrough speed will be faster, and he himself will also be able to become stronger faster. Chapter 8. After Wu Yifan left the Wu family to gain experience outside, the third generation of the Wu family gradually started their own families and careers, and also brought more than 10 great-grandchildren to Wu Hao, but unfortunately, no new child of destiny appeared, and the best was just a top-grade spiritual root. But for Wu Hao now, it is enough. Time is like running water, which cannot be caught with your hands. 20 years have passed silently. Over the past 20 years, the cultivation of the Wu family's more than 30 members, coupled with the feedback from Wu Yifan, the son of destiny, who has been training outside, has allowed Wu Hao to break through a small realm almost every month. 20 years later, Wu Hao's cultivation had successfully crossed the saint level and reached the supreme peak. He was only a little bit away from breaking through to the quasi-emperor level. And today is the day when Wu Hao is promoted to quasi-emperor. After breaking through to the level of a saint, one can rely on the saintly power in the body to open up a small world. Now Wu Hao is staying in his small world to break through to the level of a quasi-emperor. Otherwise, with his background and the terrifying Heavenly Emperor 10,000 Dao Sutra, the entire profound heaven world would probably know about his breakthrough to the level of a quasi-emperor. Wu Hao didn't want to be too high profile yet, so he stayed in the small world and broke through to the quasi-emperor level. Is this the strength of a quasi-emperor? As a rumbling vibration came from his body, Wu Hao's aura became more and more terrifying, as if it had reached a limit. In an instant, everything in the entire small world seemed to stop. By the time Wu Hao opened his eyes, he had already broken through to the quasi-emperor level. Wu Hao felt that with his current strength, a casual and light punch would be enough to destroy the entire Sunset City and even half of the southern domain including Sunset City. Although Wu Hao might have overestimated it, it was enough to show how powerful the quasi-emperor was. Especially according to Wu Hao's understanding, there is basically no great emperor in the profound heaven world now. Profound heaven world seems to be under some kind of curse. The last great emperor appeared a million years ago. Even the 4 superpowers in the profound heaven world now only have quasi-emperors in charge. Of course, with their background, even if they don't have great emperors, they can still fight against the great emperor. This is because only forces that have had a great emperor and emperor weapon can be called a superpower. An emperor weapon is extremely terrifying, so that a quasi-emperor with emperor weapon can compete with the great emperor. With my current strength, I can't be too high profile. I'll wait until I break through to the invincible realm. Wu Hao thought to himself, and made up his mind to at least break through to the realm of ascension so that he could be more high profile. But he didn't know how his wife was doing. Thinking of Soki-Oren, Wu Hao sighed helplessly. It seemed that he had to find time to visit Soki-Oren, but at least he had to protect the Wu family first. Among the current Wu family, Wu Rolong is the most powerful, having already broken through to the early stage of the void refining realm. Although he is still too weak compared to Wu Hao, he is already invincible in the vicinity of a small sunset city. But in the next second, Wu Hao's brows couldn't help but frown, and he disappeared in the small world in a flash. At this moment, in front of the Wu family's gate, a figure covered in blood was walking towards the Wu family step by step. His breath was extremely weak, as if he would fall down in the next second. "Grandpa, I'm sorry. I failed the Wu family's honor." The figure looked in the direction of the Wu family, his face full of shame, and then he could no longer hold back and fell down. Just when he was about to hit the ground, Wu Hao appeared in front of him in time and held him steadily. Seeing Wu Yifan's miserable appearance, Wu Hao's expression was extremely calm, but the anger in his heart could no longer be suppressed. He didn't expect that his great-grandson would suffer such a hardship just after going out for some experience. "You have to know that your grandson is the son of destiny. If he was not the son of destiny, he would have died long ago. Whoever hurt my grandson will pay with blood." Without having time to think about it, Wu Hao used his own strength to help Wu Yifan stabilize the condition in his body so that it would not deteriorate further. After doing all this, he took Wu Yifan back towards the Wu family. At the same time, in a mountain far away from the Wu family, several figures wearing black robes and whose faces could not be seen clearly revealed a hint of anger. "I was careless. I didn't expect this kid to have something like a high-level teleportation talisman. If we fail to bring him back, we will have a hard time explaining to the Holy Sun. What are you afraid of?" Although that guy escaped using the space teleportation talisman, he was still seriously injured by us. He is just a saint, where can he escape to? Anyway, let's go find him first. They were the ones who seriously injured Wu Yifan. As for why Wu Yifan was seriously injured, it was because by chance they discovered that Wu Yifan possessed an ancient holy body. You must know that the ancient holy body is not only famous for its extremely strong combat power, the most important thing is that the holy blood of the ancient holy body has a magical effect of breaking through the realm for some cultivators, so they chose to attack Wu Yifan without hesitation. However, they did not expect that this Saint Wu Yifan could actually escape from the hands of the three holy kings. If the Holy Sun discovered that the ancient holy body had escaped from their hands, their end would not be good. Thinking of this, the three of them couldn't help but shudder, and then chased in the direction Wu Yifan fled. At this time, in the Wu family, after learning that Wu Yifan was seriously injured and dying, the second and third generations of the Wu family came to Wu Yifan's bedside. At this time, Wu Hao had also used the medical skills of his granddaughter Wu Shuiying to stabilize Wu Yifan's injuries. Everything that happens next will be known when Wu Yifan wakes up. Wu Quncan stood beside Wu Yifan's bed with an extremely gloomy expression, while Bai Yu held her son's hand and cried. "Grandpa, what's going on?" Wu Quncan took a deep breath, forced himself to calm down, and then looked at his grandfather Wu Hao. Wu Hao shook his head and spoke. "I don't know either. We can only know who seriously injured Yifan when he wakes up. Damn it! If I knew who dared to seriously injure my son, I would definitely cut him into pieces." Wu Quncan said this angrily as a father, but Wu Hao felt strange inside. Wu Quncan is only in the early stage of soul formation now, but Wu Yifan's realm is obvious to Wu Hao, he is in the early stage of sainthood. Therefore, those who can seriously injure Wu Yifan to this extent are at least great sages or even saint kings. Even if Wu Quncan tries hard for another 100 years, he may not be the opponent of the other party. But Wu Hao did not say it, and left the matter of his great-grandson to his great-grandson to solve. This was Wu Yifan's inner demon, and only by solving this inner demon could he break through to a more powerful realm. Chapter 9. Finally, with the help of Wu Hao's medical skills, Wu Yifan woke up slowly after 3 days. Where am I? Am I dead? Wu Yifan opened his heavy eyes with a little effort, then looked around and said with some confusion. After all, the current Wu family is much bigger than the previous Wu family, so it is normal that Wu Yifan doesn't remember it. The servant who was taking care of Wu Yifan hurried downstairs to tell Wu Hao and others after seeing that Wu Yifan was about to wake up. Soon, Wu Hao and others rushed in from outside the door, and they couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief after seeing Wu Yifan wake up. Bai Yu held Wu Yifan's hand and started crying. "Son, you know what? You worried me to death." After seeing his mother crying and the worry on the faces of his family members around him, could Wu Yifan still not know that he had returned home? However, all the cultivation in his body had been destroyed because of the attacks of the three powerful Saint Kings. But Wu Yifan was not discouraged. After all, he was a genius with a genius heart, so he would not care about such things. No matter what he cultivated, he just needed to practice again. "Mom, I'm fine. I'm fine, right?" After hearing his mother crying, Wu Yifan couldn't help but comfort her. Unexpectedly, this made Bai Yu even angrier. "All right? If your great-grandfather hadn't intervened, you would have died on the road. I understand. I won't let this happen again next time." Wu Yifan could only make assurances again and again, and Bai Yu stopped pursuing the matter further. Wu Quncan also came in front of Wu Yifan and said with a very gloomy expression. "Son, tell me who hurt you, and I will avenge you." Forget it, Dad. You are no match for him." Wu Yifan touched his nose and said a little embarrassedly. But Wu Quncan obviously didn't hear it. He thought his son thought his father was too weak and didn't dare to let his father take action, so he continued speaking. "It's okay, son, tell Daddy that I'm a strong man in the early stage of soul formation." After all, Wu Yifan's cultivation had been destroyed when he came back, so Wu Quncan thought that the enemies his son would encounter would not be very powerful. After hearing Wu Quncan's words, Wu Yifan could only sigh helplessly and agree. "Well, the one who destroyed me was a powerful warrior in the early stage of the three Saint Kings." "Humph, just 3. Wait, 3 what?" Wu Quncan was just thinking about saying that they were just 3 early stage Saint Kings, but he quickly realized that his throat seemed to be blocked and he couldn't say anything. The faces of the people from the Wu family around him were also filled with shock. They obviously had not expected Wu Yifan's cultivation to be so strong that he could even escape from the hands of a Saint King. Wu Yifan's expression was also filled with fear as if he had survived a calamity. If he had not cultivated to the early stage of sainthood and possessed a powerful ancient saint body, he might not have been able to escape. Although his realm was completely gone, Wu Yifan had enough confidence to surpass the peak again and become a great emperor. "So, son, what level have you reached in your cultivation over the past 20 years? Wu Quncan swallowed and asked with some difficulty. He still remembered that Wu Yifan was just a small early gold core before he left the Wu family. Only 20 years had passed, but he was able to escape from the hands of an early Saint King or even 3 early Saint Kings. How powerful was Wu Yifan? I just luckily broke through to the early stage of sainthood. Looking at the extremely calm expression on Wu Yifan's face, the Wu family members present all thought that Wu Yifan was pretending, but they had no evidence. Just then, Wu Hao spoke. Alright, Yifan has just recovered from a serious injury, let him have a good rest, everyone go out and do what you should do. Yes, dad/grandpa/great-grandpa. The second, third, and fourth generations of the Wu family all went down to practice, and soon only Wu Hao and Wu Yifan were left in the room. At this moment, Wu Yifan's expression finally became serious. He originally thought that his great-grandfather Wu Hao was just a simple cultivator. After all, how powerful could the cultivators in the southern domain be? The entire profound heaven world is divided into 5 domains, namely the North Domain, West Domain, East Domain, Central Domain, and Southern Domain. The Southern Domain is the bottom of the 5 domains. Many people will leave the Southern Domain and go to the other 4 domains after becoming powerful. It was only after leaving the Wu family that Wu Yifan witnessed the horror of his grandfather Wu Hao. That book of ancient sacred law seemed to be tailor-made for his own ancient sacred body, not to mention the resources. The spirit stones that can be obtained in the Wu family are all top-grade spirit stones, while outside, even superpowers can only obtain high-grade spirit stones. This shows the horror of the Wu family. No, it is the great-grandfather Wu Hao. Great-grandfather. Seeing Wu Hao coming, Wu Yifan quickly sat up on the bed. Wu Hao just waved his hand to indicate that he didn't need to do so, and then asked. So what are you going to do with these 3 holy kings? Hearing this, Wu Yifan's expression became serious. He could understand what his great-grandfather meant. If he spoke up, he was afraid that his great-grandfather would kill them. However, he is a genius, and geniuses have their own pride. His enemies can only be dealt with by himself. Only in this way can he be open-minded and have a smooth path to immortality. So there was no hesitation, and Wu Yifan agreed without hesitation. Grandpa, I want to solve this matter myself. Well, you are worthy of being my descendant. The resources here are enough for you to recover to the level of a saint as soon as possible, or even break through to the level of a great saint. Once you break through to the level of a great saint, you should be able to deal with the 3 saint kings. Also, your ancient saint body has only been cultivated to basic accomplishment. You should cultivate it to great accomplishment as soon as possible. With just one glance, Wu Hao could tell that Wu Yifan's ancient holy body had only been cultivated to basic accomplishment. The ancient holy body has 12th layer restrictions, and only by breaking the restrictions can the seal of the ancient holy body be unlocked. Breaking the 1st layer restriction can be called entry, the 3rd layer restriction can be called basic accomplishment, and only by breaking the 9th layer restriction can it be called great accomplishment of the holy body. Now Wu Yifan has only broken through the 6th layer. After hearing his great-grandfather's words, Wu Yifan smiled bitterly helplessly. Grandfather, I want to, too. But it's really hard to find the treasures that can break the restriction of the ancient saint body. Even though I've been searching for them for years, I've only found the treasures that can break the restriction of the 6th layer. You don't have to worry about this. Our family has become much stronger over the years and has collected a lot of medicinal herbs in the profound heaven world. So you can look for them in the family treasury. Maybe there are some natural treasures that can break the restrictions of the ancient saint body. During these 20 years, as his cultivation became stronger step by step, Wu Hao began to use the knowledge he learned on Earth to open a chamber of commerce in the southern domain and make a lot of money. After all, the things that the system feeds back cannot be reinvested, so Wu Hao can only let everyone in the family earn money and give it to him, and then he will distribute it, so as to trigger the system's feedback. During the past 20 years, the Wu family's wealth has become so powerful that it is even comparable to that of the Holy Land. Chapter 10. Grandfather, so, what is your cultivation level? Looking at the mountains of resources in the Wu family, Wu Yifan asked with a very complicated expression. Wu Hao waved his hand and spoke in a low-key manner. You just need to know that your great-grandfather is always above you. That's not necessarily true, great-grandfather, I will definitely surpass you. Wu Yifan said this sentence without admitting defeat, and then went down to practice desperately. Hearing Wu Yifan's words, Wu Hao also showed a satisfied expression on his face. Work hard, young man. Only if you work hard can you become invincible sooner. Just as Wu Yifan was recovering, Wu Hao felt something and his expression frowned. He disappeared from the spot in an instant, and when he reappeared, he was already in a delivery room in the Wu family. Grandfather. After seeing Wu Hao coming, the Wu family members present hurriedly stepped forward to greet him. But Wu Hao ignored them and looked towards the delivery room and spoke. Xianyuan, is your son about to be born? Yes, Grandpa. When Wu Xianyuan heard Wu Hao's words, he nodded quickly and looked towards the delivery room with a worried expression on his face. Grandpa has come over, could it be that something happened to his son? Soon, a very clear and loud baby cry was heard from the delivery room. WA. Soon the midwife came out holding a baby, looked at Wu Xianyuan and congratulated him. Master, it's a young master. Seeing this, Wu Xianyuan carefully took the baby from the midwife's hands, then looked at Wu Hao, thought for a moment, and then asked. Please give my son a name, Grandpa. Now that the Wu family has grown in number, Wu Hao no longer has to make the decision on naming, and it is basically left to Wu Rolong. It was a rare occasion that Wu Hao was present today, so Wu Xianyuan still wanted his grandfather to speak and choose a good name for his son. Wu Hao stared at the little guy in Wu Xuanyuan's arms, took it into his own arms, a satisfied expression appeared on his face, and then he spoke. Since he is your son, Xianyuan, then let's name him Wu Yida. Name, Wu Yida. Identity, Destiny's Child. Talent, top grade spiritual roots. Constitution, Chaos body. Wu Hao had never expected that there would be two sons of destiny in his family. You know, under normal circumstances, having a son of destiny is a very good thing. After all, the son of destiny requires a strong force to protect him. If the force is not strong enough, it will only be implicated by the son of destiny and then destroyed. But for Wu Hao it is not a problem at all. After all, a million times the feedback will only make him far superior to the son of destiny. Now he can protect himself even in the profound heaven world. Wu Yida, Grandpa, do you mean that this child can create his own great Dao in the future? Wu Xuanyuan's eyes lit up as he listened to his grandfather's words, and he muttered to himself. But Wu Hao swore that he had no such idea at all. Every child of destiny had his own path to follow, and even Wu Hao could not guess the development of the child of destiny. However, Wu Hao knew that there were several plot lines for the development of the child of destiny, so it was not impossible to make some arrangements in the future. But time flies, and another 8 years have passed. During these 8 years, Wu Yifan had healed all of his injuries, and even broke through the restrictions of the ancient saint body to the 7th layer, so he could fight even against a saint king. Of course, this is just pure physical strength. As for the realm, it has just recovered to the gold core stage. But even so, he still insisted on leaving the Wu family and going out to explore the world. On the day of departure, the family members showed their reluctance to let her go, and Bai Yu even begged. Xiao Fan, are you really unwilling to stay at home and practice? It's too dangerous outside. Mom, I have made up my mind. Staying at home will only hinder my development. It is better for me to go out. Besides, my enemies are very powerful. If I stay in the Wu family, I am afraid it will bring disaster to the family. Wu Yifan said firmly that he has never been a guy who likes to live a stable life. Only danger and excitement can make him break through quickly. Even though he knew that his great-grandfather was very powerful, since his great-grandfather didn't say anything, he wouldn't expose it. Okay, Yifan is almost 50 years old, let him go. At this moment, Wu Hao also stood up. Seeing Wu Hao standing up to speak, Bai Yu and others could only nod and agree even if they were reluctant in their hearts. After talking to Wu Quncan and his wife, Wu Hao turned to look at Wu Yifan and said seriously. I just hope that you can consider your own safety as much as possible before doing anything, don't act rashly, and it would be best if you could bring me a grandson's wife. Wu Yifan's expression changed slightly, and it was unknown what he was thinking of. Then he nodded and agreed. I know, Grandpa. This guy, it looks like he has someone he likes. Wu Hao naturally observed the changes in Wu Yifan's facial expression, so he thought to himself. Under normal circumstances, the offspring of the Son of Destiny basically all have top-grade spiritual roots, which means that as long as Wu Yifan has a few more children, his breakthrough speed will be even faster. Soon, Wu Yifan stood in the distance and waved to everyone in the Wu family. I'm leaving, take care. After saying that, Wu Yifan turned around and left without looking back. The Wu family members stood there for a while and then left. Let's go back. We have to work hard, otherwise we won't be able to keep up with our son. Wu Kyunkan stood beside Bai Yu and spoke, then took Bai Yu back. Although Wu Kyunkan and Bai Yu have worked very hard, the upper limit of their talents is there. Now they are almost 80 years old and have only broken through to the late soul formation and early nascent soul stages. If I don't work harder, I'm afraid my life will be like this. After everyone in the Wu family had left, Wu Hao turned around and left. He had secretly left a shield of his own power on Wu Yifan's body, which was enough to prevent other quasi-emperor grade warriors from killing Wu Yifan. After all, Wu Yifan is his experience pack, and he can't let anything go wrong like this. But now there is another very important thing to do, which is to let another son of destiny, Wu Yida, start practicing. With the help of these two sons of destiny, Wu Hao feels that he will be able to break through to the great emperor soon. Especially Wu Yifan, because his realm was destroyed, even if he started practicing again, he could still give Wu Hao a lot of cultivation feedback. For a moment, Wu Hao couldn't help but want to let Wu Yida practice a technique that required him to practice it 99 times, but after thinking about it, it was too painful, so he couldn't bear it. Chapter 11. Grandpa, can I start practicing now? Wu Hao had just returned to his yard when he saw Wu Yida, dressed in white, running towards him with a happy expression on his face. Seeing this, Wu Hao also smiled and said, "That's right, I can start practicing today." Although Yu Dao is only 8 years old now, the Wu family's family rules prohibit wasting resources on cultivation. Therefore, all children born in the Wu family must take a medicinal bath every month to remove impurities from the body and lay a good foundation for future practice. Therefore, his height is now about 2/3 of the normal person's height, which is about 1.2 meters. As for Wu Yida's cultivation, Wu Hao has also done his investigation. The chaos body is a physique that is similar to the ancient holy body, or even more terrifying than the ancient holy body. Once it is discovered, all the major holy places will definitely rush to recruit Wu Yida as their saint son. Of course, when Wu Hao realized that Wu Yida was the son of destiny, he took action to cover up the strange phenomenon, so the major forces in profound heaven world did not discover the existence of Wu Yida. Otherwise, the southern domain, which originally allowed the major Holy Land forces to enter because of Wu Yifan, would probably be in turmoil again. I have strayed off topic. As for the cultivation of the chaos body, Wu Hao has already made all preparations. The most suitable method for the chaos body is the Chaos Sutra, but the Chaos Sutra has been lost in the profound heaven world today. Even if Wu Hao tried to look for it, he could only find the Chaos Sutra, which could only be cultivated to the Saint King level at most. After thinking for a while, Wu Hao looked at Wu Yida and said with a very serious expression, "Yida, grandfather wants to tell you something first, you'd better be prepared." "Grandpa," you said, "we are all ready." Although Wu Yida was a little nervous, he nodded and agreed with his young face. Soon, Wu Hao told everyone about the chaotic body, including that if Wu Yida practiced the Chaos Sutra, he could only cultivate to the level of Saint King, and the remaining fragments of the Chaos Sutra would need to be found by Wu Yida himself. Although the Chaos body can also practice other skills, no other skills are as compatible with the Chaos body as the Chaos Sutra. Only the Chaos body that has practiced the Chaos Sutra can be called a Chaos body. After hearing that he could only cultivate to the level of Saint King, Wu Yida had a conflicted expression on his face, but he quickly thought it through, nodded and agreed. "Grandfather, I've made up my mind. I want to practice the Chaos Sutra." "Are you sure?" "If you want to practice the Chaos Sutra, then you have to go to profound heaven world and find the remaining Chaos Sutra." Wu Hao asked again. Wu Yida turned his back to Wu Hao and spoke with great confidence. "Grandfather, since heaven has gifted me with the Chaos body, then naturally I will not be unable to find the remaining Chaos Sutra. Moreover, if I don't practice the Chaos Sutra, what is the use of this Chaos body?" "Okay, if that's the case, then Grandpa will teach you the Chaos Sutra today." Hearing this, Wu Hao nodded with satisfaction. How could there be a Chaos body without practicing the Chaos Sutra? Only by practicing the Chaos Sutra could Wu Yida gain more feedback on his cultivation. Of course, even if Wu Yida cannot find the remaining Chaos Sutra later, it doesn't matter, Wu Hao will take action. By the time Wu Yida reaches the level of Saint King, Wu Yifan will probably have become a quasi-emperor, and by that time, he will have become a great emperor or even above the great emperor. In this case, won't he be able to find a mere fragment of the primal Chaos Sutra? Because of the solid foundation he had laid earlier, and with Wu Hao's personal guidance, Wu Yida soon successfully entered the Qi refining realm. And just like when Wu Yifan had just started practicing, he was directly promoted to the peak of Qi refining, and then was stopped by Wu Hao. After he was told that one must cultivate well before making a breakthrough, Wu Yida nodded and agreed, then ran downstairs to tell his parents the good news. As for Wu Hao, since he has already broken through to the Quasi-Emperor, even if Wu Hao gets 1,000,000 times more feedback, he will only be closer to the Great Emperor. After all, the Great Emperor's lifespan of 1,000,000 years is not a joke, so it would naturally be more difficult to break through. Soon another 3 years passed. During these 3 years, with the accumulation of cultivation of everyone in the Wu family, Wu Hao's cultivation finally broke through to the Great Emperor. At the moment when Wu Hao broke through to the Great Emperor, several pairs of eyes suddenly opened in the various forbidden areas of profound heaven world, and their pupils were full of shock. This aura is the Great Emperor. How is that possible? Isn't the profound heaven world cursed, making it impossible to break through to the Great Emperor? Who cares? Since someone has broken through to the Great Emperor, does that mean the curse has been lifted? From now on, we can break through to the Great Emperor. God will not abandon me, God will not abandon me. Someone, go find the newly promoted Great Emperor. We must find out how he broke through to become the Great Emperor. This may be our hope. Countless terrifying figures hid in the forbidden area, looking in the direction of the southern domain and muttering. But Wu Hao obviously didn't think of this. After breaking through to the Great Emperor, he hid his aura so that no one could detect it. After all, there is no Great Emperor in the open profound heaven world right now, but secretly, Wu Hao doesn't want to be high profile so soon, at least not before he has absolute strength. However, something is wrong with profound heaven world. It seems that a powerful person has blocked the road to profound heaven world, making it impossible for the strong people in profound heaven world to break through to Great Emperor. After breaking through to the Great Emperor realm, Wu Hao keenly sensed something and his expression became serious. He could feel that a part of the laws of heaven and earth in profound heaven world was missing, and that missing part was exactly the law of heaven and earth that would allow profound heaven world to break through to the Great Emperor realm. You know, even the current Wu Hao has no way to do this, which means that profound heaven world is definitely not as simple as it seems. Low-key, still need to be low-key. Wu Hao thought to himself that the idea of keeping a low profile and developing in a low profile became more and more urgent. And because Wu Hao himself is not a native of profound heaven world, the laws of heaven and earth of profound heaven world are useless to Wu Hao. In addition, with the help of the system, they can do nothing to Wu Hao. System, if I break through to a level above Great Emperor, will I be rejected and forced to ascend? After breaking through to the Great Emperor, Wu Hao has already had an understanding of the realm that lies ahead. This is not a prompt from the system, but the cultivator's feeling about the road. As long as there is a road ahead, he can feel it. Wu Hao could feel that the next realm was definitely not something that profound heaven world could withstand, so he asked. Ding, the host can use the system's breath-stealing function to break through. If the heavenly Dao cannot detect the host's breath, it will not force the host to ascend. Is that so? I understand. Wu Hao thought to himself that he didn't want to ascend too quickly. In his previous life, he was familiar with transmigrate novels. If he could cultivate to the point of ascending, he might be considered a well-known genius in the lower world. But once you ascend to the upper realm, you might be captured to mine. It would be better to wait until you become a little stronger before ascending. Chapter 12. Now that I have broken through to the Great Emperor, it is time to find a wife. After breaking through to the Great Emperor, Wu Hao immediately thought of his wife. After all, the relationship they had had for several years was not fake, and he couldn't be alone for the rest of his life. So it is only right and reasonable to find Soki Oren back. But before leaving, you must make sure everything in the Wu family is settled properly, and you can't let the old nest be destroyed when you leave. Soon, Wu Hao called Wu Rolong over. After hearing that Wu Hao was going to bring his mother back, Wu Rolong's expression changed and became extremely complicated. Although he knew that his mother did not leave them on purpose, living without his mother for so many years made him feel a lot of pain. But what can he do? As Soki Oren's son, he can't just sit there and watch Soki Oren's affairs. I understand, father. You go ahead. I will take care of the Wu family's affairs. Over the years, under Wu Hao's guidance, the Wu Chamber of Commerce behind the Wu family has become the largest chamber of commerce in the entire southern domain. Wu Rolong has also become a powerful man at the peak of transcending tribulation, only half a step away from breaking through to the saint level. Of course, because the Wu family was willing to pay, they invited 3 early Saint King powerhouses to take charge of the Wu Chamber of Commerce. In addition to the backup plan left by Wu Hao, even if the Quasi-Emperor wanted to take action against the Wu family, he couldn't do it. Well, I will bring your mother back as soon as possible. After Wu Hao finished speaking, he set off to leave the Wu family. As for how to find So Kyoran, Wu Hao actually didn't have much idea. After all, when he was with So Kyoran, she had amnesia, and he didn't know So Kyoran's origins. After her memory was restored, So Kyoran did not tell Wu Hao and Wu Rolong about her origins for the sake of their safety. She just gave them some resources enough to cultivate to the nascent soul stage and left. However, since my wife said that she was framed, it should be something like an internal struggle. So let's go to the southern domain or the central domain to investigate whether there is a person named So Kyoran. Wu Hao quickly came up with an idea in his mind. He hated that So Kyoran didn't leave anything behind. Otherwise, as long as he had So Kyoran's underwear or hair, Wu Hao would be able to find So Kyoran directly based on her scent. But it's too late to regret now. I can only take one step at a time. However, with my great emperor level cultivation, it will only take a few years to find So Kyoran. At the same time, in the central region, in the Holy Land of 10,000 Flowers. As one of the 4 great superpowers, the Wanhua Holy Land is naturally extremely powerful. Its ancestor is at the peak of the Quasi-Emperor level. With the help of the Emperor weapon, it is capable of fighting even against an early-stage Great Emperor. However, the position of the Saintess in the Wanhua Holy Land was vacant. So Kyoran was one of the candidates for the Saintess back then, but she was framed and ended up in the southern domain, where she married Wu Hao. After recovering her memory, So Kyoran returned to the Holy Land of Wanhua. Now, after so many years, she has become the most likely candidate to become the saint with her great talent and iron-blooded wrist. But at this moment, So Kyoran was sitting by the window in her attic, looking at the blue sky outside, with a dazed expression on her face, and muttering to herself. My dear, I don't know how you and the child are doing now, but don't worry. After I become a saint, I will bring you and the child here, and then our family will be reunited. Today, So Kyoran has broken through to the peak of sainthood and is only one step away from becoming a great sage. In addition to So Kyoran, there are 3 other candidates for the Holy Maiden in the Wanhua Holy Land today. The other 2 are still at the peak of the refinement void realm, so it is no different from having been kicked out. There is only one candidate left who is in the late stage of sainthood, and her name is Mirong Shui. But at this moment, Mirong Shui's expression in her own dojo was extremely gloomy. She didn't expect that she designed to kick So Kyoran out, but she didn't expect that this BCH So Kyoran would have a chance to come back, and successfully surpass herself to become the most likely candidate to become the saint. But she soon thought of something, and a sarcastic expression appeared on Mirong Shui's face. But what you didn't expect, So Kyoran, is that the Holy Lord and I are father and daughter. Just wait, I will make another move and wipe you out. In this way, it will be legitimate for me to become a holy maiden. What no one knows is that Mirong Shui, one of the candidates for the saintess, is the daughter of Mirong Huang, the saint lord of the Wanhua Holy Land. This is because the Wanhua Holy Land never selects saintess based on status but on talent. The Holy Maiden of Wanhua Holy Land is elected every 100 years, and the requirement for participation is that one must be under 100 years old. There are only 10 years left until the next election, and within 10 years, she must kill So Kyoran, otherwise So Kyoran will definitely take her position as the Holy Maiden. She, Mirong Shui, would never allow such a thing to happen. Soon, Mirong Shui thought of something, and the expression on her face became fierce. I remember that the Hodang secret realm will be opened in a year. At that time, all the disciples of the Wanhua Holy Land will enter it. As for So Kyoran, I want to see how you can survive the hands of the 3 great saints. Ha 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 ha. Thinking that she was about to become the Holy Maiden of the Wanhua Holy Land, Mirong Shui couldn't help but burst into laughter. So Kyoran didn't know that she had been tricked by Mirong Shui. At this moment, she was trying her best to break through to the Great Saint Realm. However, it was extremely difficult to break through to the Great Saint Realm. Even if she had top-grade spiritual roots, it would take a long time to complete the break. Is this the central domain? It is indeed much more prosperous than the southern domain. Wu Yifan passed through many obstacles and finally arrived in the central region. After arriving in the central domain, Wu Yifan couldn't help but show surprise on his face. This was his first time in the central domain. He didn't expect that the spiritual energy content in the central domain was almost twice as high as that in the southern domain. No wonder the more powerful cultivators want to come to the central region. However, Wu Yifan did not think so much at this time. What he was thinking about now was how to become stronger quickly so that he could take revenge on the 3 Saint Kings who had seriously injured him. Now Wu Yifan can fight the Saint King with his physical strength alone, but if the 3 of them attack together, Wu Yifan may not be their match. Therefore, Wu Yifan was thinking of waiting until the restrictions on the ancient holy body were lifted to the 8th layer, and then taking action after he had the strength to kill the Supreme. Moreover, Wu Yifan was not a reckless man, so he naturally thought that the 3 Saint Kings might have powerful forces behind them. So, to be on the safe side, it would be safer for him to wait until his physical body broke through to the 8th layer and his cultivation level was promoted to the peak of the Saint King before taking action. Chapter 13. On the other side, Wu Hao was heading towards the central domain. Of course, the southern domain could not be missed. Although it is more likely that my wife is in the central domain, what if she is in the southern domain? Although the possibility is small, it is not impossible. During the time of searching for Sokyoran, Wu Hao also had the rare opportunity to appreciate the scenery and people of profound heaven world. Wu Hao is now almost 100 years old. He spent his previous years thinking about how to become stronger. Now that he has the ability to protect himself in profound heaven world, he can naturally slack off a little. However, when passing by some places, Wu Hao would basically not miss any rare treasures he encountered. After all, if he gave them to Yida and Yifan, he could get 1,000,000 times the return, so he naturally would not miss them. Just before Wu Hao was about to pass by, he saw a figure dressed in snow white quickly shuttling through the jungle, and behind her followed several human monks in the gold core stage. I didn't expect to encounter the legendary 9-tailed fox in this small Wonkong mountain range. If we can catch her and sell her, it will definitely be a huge fortune for us. Are you stupid? Sell it. If the 9-tailed fox is trained well, it can break through to the Great Emperor. If we have a Great Emperor pet, we can go anywhere in the profound heaven world. Even the 4 holy places will be afraid of us. Hee hee hee, little fox, just surrender, you can't escape. In the sky, the 3 gold core early stage monks had expressions of surprise on their faces. They looked at the little fox that was fleeing quickly below, with excitement on their faces that they could hardly conceal. They didn't expect that they just came to the Wonkong Mountains to look for some rare treasures, but they were lucky enough to encounter the legendary 9-tailed fox. If it was a stronger 9-tailed fox, they would have naturally run away, but the 9-tailed fox they encountered was only a 9-tailed fox that had just unlocked the 3-tail state, and its strength was only comparable to that of a human race spirit sea realm cultivator. Therefore, when facing the 3 gold core early stage cultivators, the 9-tailed fox could only run away. However, this was not a solution at the moment. If it continued to chase them like this, it was afraid that the 9-tailed fox would definitely be captured by the 3 gold core early stage cultivators behind it. Damn you human race monk, I just want to live, what's wrong with that? The 9-tailed fox thought to itself that the so-called demon beasts and spiritual beasts were beings with spiritual intelligence, and how could the 9-tailed fox in the spirit sea realm have an IQ lower than that of humans? However, the demon beast had to cultivate to the nascent soul stage before it could speak and transform into a human form, so no matter how anxious the 9-tailed fox was now, it could only run around everywhere, hoping to find a chance of survival. But unfortunately, he was soon surrounded by the 3 early gold core monks and had nowhere to escape. The 9-tailed fox saw this scene and bared its teeth at them viciously, but as the initial pressure of the gold core fell, it could not help but be suppressed and fell to the ground. Ha ha ha, little fox, just surrender obediently. It is said that the 9-tailed fox clan is all extremely beautiful. Once you break through to the soul formation stage, I will show off my prowess. One of the early gold core cultivators looked at the 9-tailed fox with lust in his eyes. The 9-tailed fox was most famous for its appearance rather than its talent. Therefore, after discovering a 9-tailed fox, there will basically be a powerful force that will take action to capture and tame the fox, and when it reaches the soul formation stage, it can transform into a human form and practice dual cultivation. But at this moment, something strange happened. Oh, I didn't expect to meet the 9-tailed fox here. A figure appeared in front of the 9-tailed fox and said with a little surprise on his face. The visitor was Wu Hao. He originally planned to go straight there when he passed by here, but after thinking carefully, he realized that the 9-tailed fox only needed to invest resources to break through to the Great Emperor. If he kept it, maybe he could give it to his Wu family as a guardian beast. So after thinking about it, Wu Hao decided to take action. And the moment Wu Hao appeared, the 3 early gold core cultivators had shocked expressions on their faces. It was obvious that they had not expected that there would be such a strong man here. But after reacting, one of the gold core early monks took a deep breath and spoke. Senior, we were the first to target this 9-tailed fox. If you take action now, it might not be a good thing. Oh, really? If I say so, I'll do it. Wu Hao glanced at them coldly. From the very beginning, Wu Hao had no intention of leaving them any chance to survive. After all, if the existence of the 9-tailed fox's level were to be spread, many people would definitely come to cause trouble for him. So, in order to avoid future troubles, Wu Hao suddenly sent a terrifying pressure from the sky, which killed the 3 gold core early stage cultivators. For Wu Hao, killing a cultivator of this level would only take a thought. The 9-tailed fox lying on the ground was also shocked by the scene. She had never thought that there were such powerful people in the world. In a moment, she killed the 3 human race monks who had made her extremely embarrassed just now. But the most important thing is Wu Hao's appearance. If Wu Hao's appearance before he started practicing Taoism could only be considered ordinary, then Wu Hao now is definitely a beautiful man among immortals. In addition, the 9-tailed fox could also feel an extremely friendly feeling from Wu Hao. This was all because Wu Hao practiced the Heavenly Emperor's 10,000 Dao Sutra. Therefore, all things in the world wanted to get close to Wu Hao when they saw him, because Wu Hao had the aura of their common origin. But Wu Hao obviously didn't think so much. Instead, he looked at the 9-tailed fox lying on the ground and spoke. Would you like to be my pet? Wu Hao would not force it. If the other party did not agree, he would just kill him. Compared to powerful talent, what Wu Hao wanted more was loyalty. The 9-tailed fox naturally did not refuse, and soon handed over a portion of its own spirit. Seeing this, Wu Hao nodded with satisfaction, then took his life spirit into his palm. Soon, Wu Hao successfully signed a spiritual pet treaty with the 9-tailed fox. From then on, Wu Hao successfully took in the 9-tailed fox, not a harem. There is only one female protagonist in this article, and that is Soki Oren. Little guy, you probably don't have a name yet, so if that's the case, then take my surname Wu, and your name will be Woohoo. Wu Hao thought about it and gave the 9-tailed fox a name. The 9-tailed fox was lying on Wu Hao's shoulder. When it heard the name Wu Hao gave, it nodded excitedly and agreed. As for why the 9-tailed fox was named Woohoo, it was because Woohoo took off. Chapter 14. After capturing Woohoo, Wu Hao continued to move towards the central region. He just rescued some innocent people from time to time on the road. For Wu Hao, it was just a matter of convenience. However, rumors about an unknown ranger spread in the southern domain. Hey, have you heard? An unknown ranger has appeared in our southern domain. If you are in danger, the unknown ranger will rescue you. I heard that even a saintly warrior couldn't last a single blow under the hands of that nameless ranger. Hiss, it's so terrifying. I'm going to find the nameless ranger to become his disciple. At this time, Wu Hao did not know that because of his unintentional action, the southern domain, which was originally in a stagnant state, began to surge with undercurrents. On the other side, there is naturally a dynasty above Sunset City. The dynasty to which Sunset City is affiliated is called the Li dynasty. At this time in the Li dynasty, the leader of the Li dynasty, a supreme-level strong man, was frowning slightly. As he listened to the advice of the ministers below, his brows also frowned slightly. He had naturally heard about the story of this nameless ranger. Anyone who could overpower even a saint must be at least a great saint-grade expert, and he was a wild one at that. Such a talent would definitely be brought into their Li dynasty. Well, judging from the performance of the nameless ranger, he should be a man of justice. If possible, we can recruit him to serve in an important position under the command of our Li dynasty. Do you have anything else to say? If there is nothing else, then we can leave the court. The leader of the Li dynasty waved his hand and was about to announce his immediate withdrawal from court. But at this moment, a minister stood up and bowed. Your Majesty, do you know about the Wu's Chamber of Commerce, which has been rising rapidly recently? Hearing the name of Wu's Chamber of Commerce, the head of the Li dynasty couldn't help but frowned, and then asked. What is that? Soon, Li Sukan, the leader of the Li dynasty, learned about the Wu Chamber of Commerce from the ministers. He frowned and asked. You mean, in less than 100 years, the Wu Chamber of Commerce has risen rapidly and occupied most of the business in the entire southern domain. Yes, and according to my understanding, the strongest Wu Chamber of Commerce is only the 3 early Saint Kings. I am afraid that the Wu Chamber of Commerce cannot keep such an industry. How about your Majesty speaking up and letting the Wu Chamber of Commerce be incorporated into the Li dynasty? The minister suggested at this time, and Li Sukin frowned slightly, and spoke after a long time. Let me think about this matter for a while, and leave the court for now. Soon, Li Sukin was the only one left in the huge palace. Until now, Li Sukin waved his hand, and the next second, 2 figures of peak Saint Kings appeared beside Li Sukin. The 2 men were covered with an impenetrable black cloth, and they were Li Sukin's hidden men, doing all kinds of shady things for Li Sukin. You two, one of you will go investigate the recently appeared nameless ranger, and the other one will go investigate the Wu's Chamber of Commerce. If there is no powerful entity behind the Wu's Chamber of Commerce, then we will win it over and make it a subsidiary of our Li dynasty. Li Sukin held his chin with one hand and tapped the dragon armrest with the other hand, and simply decided the matter between the Wu Chamber of Commerce and the nameless ranger. As the 2 hidden players disappeared, Li Sukin couldn't help but reveal a playful expression on his face. Wu's Chamber of Commerce? It's better if there is no shadow of other dynasties behind you, otherwise, I don't mind destroying you. There are 3 dynasties in the southern domain that are as powerful as the Li dynasty, namely the Divine Sovereign dynasty, the Undefeated dynasty, and the Powerful dynasty. The relationship between the 4 dynasties can only be described as temporarily not fighting each other, but if the 3 dynasties dare to extend their hands into the territory of his Li dynasty, he, Li Sukin, would not mind chopping off their hands. On the other side, Wu Hao didn't know what was happening here. Although he was mainly in a playful attitude, he was still very fast. Soon Wu Hao and Wu Hu arrived at the prosperous central region. Is this the central domain? It is indeed much more prosperous than the southern domain. You should know that in the southern domain, gold core cultivators are extremely rare, but in the central domain, there are almost 20 gold core cultivators among 100 people. This shows how much stronger the central domain's foundation is than that of the other 4 domains. But what does that have to do with Wu Hao? He came to the central region just to find a wife, and the rest has nothing to do with him. Wu Hu, who was lying on Wu Hao's shoulder, also looked around happily. As for his realm, with the help of Wu Hao's unlimited resources, he had already broken through to the peak of gold core. After all, the 9-tailed fox's upper limit is there. As long as you are willing to invest resources, the breakthrough speed is still very fast and stable. Okay, Wu Hu, we still have things to do. Let's find out what channels we can get first. After Wu Hao finished speaking, he began to think about his next move. After all, he didn't know where his wife was, and if he went to look for her rashly, it might cause trouble to her. Therefore, the best way would be to find a strong but not too powerful force and let them search secretly. This would be much faster than searching by yourself like a headless fly. Just when Wu Hao was about to look for this kind of force, he felt something and looked in one direction in surprise. Across the infinite space, Wu Hao saw Wu Yifan, who came to the central region. At this time, Wu Yifan looked extremely embarrassed and was being hunted down by 3 early Saint King cultivators. However, with the help of the ancient saint body, Wu Yifan was not in danger at the moment and just looked a little embarrassed. Forget it, that's what the child of destiny has to go through. Let him solve it himself. It's not dangerous. Wu Hao shook his head, then disappeared into the crowd with Wu Hu. On the other side, Wu Yifan was almost so angry that he cursed. What was going on? He had just arrived in the central region and soon after, he met those 3 early stage Saint Kings again. However, because the ancient holy body has now lifted the seal of the 7th layer, if I want to leave, those 3 people will not be able to stop me. Damn it, just wait for me. 30 years in the east, 30 years in the west. I will repay you 100-fold for your hatred today. Wu Yifan looked at the 3 people behind him and said viciously, then disappeared in front of them. The faces of the 3 early stage Saint Kings who saw this scene suddenly turned ugly. They didn't expect that Wu Yifan, who was easily seriously injured when they met last time, could actually escape from their hands this time. What if they meet again next time? Will Wu Yifan be able to kill them at that time? We can't delay this any longer. We must tell the Holy Sun as soon as possible. Otherwise, when the other party becomes stronger, we will really have no way to deal with him. Chapter 15. For Wu Hao, it was not difficult to find a force that could help him find his wife, and soon Wu Hao found such a force. Rufeng Pavilion, just as its name suggests, can get news from anywhere the wind can reach. When he arrived at Rufeng Pavilion, a bronze mask appeared on Wu Hao's face, making it impossible to discover Wu Hao's identity. After entering Rufeng Pavilion, Wu Hao followed the messenger's instructions and came to a room. Soon, an old man walked in from outside. "My dear guest, since you have come to our Rufeng Pavilion, you should know the rules of our Rufeng Pavilion. If you come in here, you must pay money regardless of whether you are asked or not," the old man said with a very calm expression. Wu Hao didn't say anything and directly placed a top-grade spirit stone on the table. "I know the rules." After seeing the top-grade spirit stone, the old man's expression changed, full of smiles, and he asked in a respectful manner. "My dear guest, what information do you want to inquire about?" "I'm looking for someone, her name is Soki Oren." Wu Hao went straight to the point and said it directly. After hearing Wu Hao's words, the old man's brows suddenly frowned, and then he continued. "My dear guest, I wonder if the Soki Oren you are looking for is a cultivator or immortal?" "Immortal cultivator," Wu Hao said lightly, and soon the old man turned and left, and came back with a thick stack of information. He put it on the table with a bang, and then spoke. "Sir, here is the information of all the Soki Oren in the entire central region. The price is 10 top-grade spirit stones. For you." After Wu Hao finished speaking, he threw out 10 top-grade spirit stones neatly, and then began to flip through Soki Oren's information. Wu Hao was naturally impressed by his wife's face, so he flipped through the pages very quickly. However, when he opened the first page, Wu Hao froze in place. The information on the first page was about the quasi-saint of Wanhua Holy Land, Wu Hao's wife. Wu Hao didn't expect that his wife would actually be the famous quasi-saint of the Wanhua Holy Land. That was quite interesting. No wonder his wife insisted on leaving. So that's why. If the people in the Holy Land of 10,000 Flowers knew that his wife was still alive and even married and had children, they would definitely not let him off for defiling the quasi-saint and the fruit of their love. Seeing Wu Hao fold the information, the old man next to him asked curiously. "Did you find the guest?" "Well, I found it." Wu Hao didn't say much, he stood up and prepared to leave, but he soon thought of something, left a communication stone and spoke. "Give this message stone to the pavilion master of your Rufeng Pavilion. I would like to have a talk with your pavilion master." Regarding Rufeng Pavilion's attitude, Wu Hao still wanted to recruit it for his own use. Even if he couldn't recruit it for his own use, he at least wanted to have a good relationship with it. Maybe it could be of great use in the future. Seeing Wu Hao's mysterious look, the old man was slightly stunned, but he still asked him to put away the communication stone. After all, judging from the fact that Wu Hao could easily take out a piece of top-grade spirit stone, Wu Hao might not be simple. What if the pavilion master got angry with him because of this incident in the future? On the other side, after returning to the inn, Wu Hao took Wu Hu with him and went straight to the Wanhua Holy Land. Now that he has found his wife, Wu Hao will naturally not let her be in danger again. Moreover, Wu Hao has also found out a lot of information from Rufeng Pavilion. For example, the Wanhua Holy Land is currently holding a ceremony to elect a new holy maiden. If Soki Oren is in danger, he will not be able to save her with his current abilities. With Wu Hao's cultivation level of the middle stage of Great Emperor, he arrived in front of the Holy Land of 10,000 Flowers in just a few breaths. Generally speaking, a powerful force like the Wanhua Holy Land would have formation restrictions to prevent powerful enemies from sneaking into the Wanhua Holy Land. It's a pity that Wu Hao is too powerful, so the restrictions have no effect on Wu Hao at all. On the contrary, Wu Hao's actions seem to be like a fish in water. His terrifying Great Emperor-level divine sense began to search in the Wanhua Holy Land and soon found the location of his wife Soki Oren. Thinking of this, Wu Hao rushed towards Soki Oren's location without saying a word. At the same time, Soki Oren seemed to have sensed something and couldn't help but frown. This feeling is weird. Why do I feel like I'm about to encounter something very important? But before Soki Oren could react, the next second a voice that had not been heard for a long time but could always be heard in Soki Oren's dreams came from behind her. "Wife, turn back." Hearing this, Soki Oren's whole body froze. Then she slowly turned around and looked, and really saw the figure she had been thinking about day and night. "Husband? Why are you here? Go away, it's dangerous here." After seeing Wu Hao, Soki Oren thought she was hallucinating, but she quickly confirmed that it was not an illusion and her husband really came to her side. But soon Soki-Oren thought of something, her face full of worry, and then she walked forward and tried to ask Wu Hao to leave. After all, this is the Wanhua Holy Land, and the quasi-saint of the Wanhua Holy Land must not casually have any relationship with any man outside. Otherwise, any man who has a relationship with the quasi-saint will be killed. Although she didn't know how Wu Hao came here, Soki-Oren didn't think that Wu Hao had the strength to rival the Wanhua Holy Land in just less than 100 years. Originally, Soki-Oren thought that with her peak saintly cultivation, she should be able to take Wu Hao away easily, but she didn't expect that her power would be like a drop in the ocean when it acted on Wu Hao, and completely disappeared. For a moment, Soki-Oren's face was full of shock, but before she could react, Wu Hao in front of her hugged her into his arms and whispered in Soki-Oren's ear. "Wife, I've missed you so much during this period." Hearing Wu Hao's sudden confession, Soki-Oren couldn't help but stay where she was, her ears turned red, and she murmured. "Honey, I miss you too." Then, it was like dry wood and a fire broke out, and decades of loneliness were all filled today. A short separation is better than a new marriage, not to mention that Wu Hao and Soki-Oren are almost gone from each other's lives, so the brutality of this battle is naturally needless to say. Of course, Wu Hao won in the end. The great emperor was just too big and too powerful. Chapter 16. After a fierce battle, Soki-Oren lay in Wu Hao's arms and stared at him with a resentful look on her face. This guy didn't even know how to pity herself. Wu Hao touched his nose a little embarrassedly. After all, he had not vented his desires for a long time. Now that his wife was right in front of him, it was normal that he could not control his strength all of a sudden. But soon, Soki-Oren's expression became extremely solemn, as if she had thought of something. "Husband, although I don't know how you got into the Wanhua Holy Land, you should leave as soon as possible. The power of the Wanhua Holy Land is beyond your imagination. Believe me, after I become a saint, I will announce your existence. This is all for your safety." Seeing Soki-Oren's serious look, Wu Hao couldn't help but smile, then he touched Soki-Oren's nose before speaking. "It's okay. During this period of time, your husband has become very powerful. The Wanhua Holy Land is just a mere place. It can't hurt your husband." Wu Hao was not joking about this. After all, there was no great emperor in the current profound heaven world. Even if the Wanhua Holy Land had the emperor weapon, they would not be able to stop Wu Hao if he wanted to leave. Soki-Oren was slightly stunned after Wu Hao touched her nose, but she quickly reacted and thought Wu Hao was joking, so she continued speaking. "Hey, husband, what are you doing? I'm not kidding you. The Wanhua Holy Land is really powerful. Anyway, you should leave quickly. There are still 10 years left. In 10 years, I will become the new Holy Maiden of the Wanhua Holy Land. Then I will be able to openly announce your existence. I'm really not kidding, just look." Men are most afraid of being told that they don't believe in them, and Wu Hao is no exception. After hearing Soki-Oren say that he is not as good as the Wanhua Holy Land, Wu Hao couldn't help it. The aura on his body was like a majestic ocean, visible in front of Soki-Oren. This made Soki-Oren stop all the words of persuasion she was planning to say, and her face was full of shock. She really didn't expect that her husband could break through to such a terrifying level in just a few years. Even she, who was at the peak of sainthood, felt full of crisis. Even the aura she felt from the quasi-emperor grade strongmen in the Holy Land was not as strong as her husband's. Could it be that my husband has really broken through to the point where he is not even afraid of the Wanhua Holy Land? If she hadn't measured her husband's size just now and found it was exactly the same as before, Soki-Oren would probably have suspected that the husband in front of her was an impostor. "But husband, I don't want to be a vase by your side, so how about letting me handle this matter? After I become the Holy Maiden of the Holy Land of 10,000 Flowers, I will be with you openly. Only then will I be worthy of standing by your side." Soki-Oren looked at Wu Hao and said sincerely in her eyes. Wu Hao hesitated slightly when he heard this, but after seeing Soki-Oren's coquettish look, Wu Hao sighed and said, "Well, if this is your choice, then you must wear this pendant at all times. It contains my power. As long as it is activated, even a quasi-emperor will be unable to do anything to you. Yet, I know you're the best, husband." Soki-Oren saw a sweet smile on Wu Hao's face, and then let Wu Hao put the pendant on her personally. After all, it was a gift from her husband, and Soki-Oren definitely couldn't get away with it. After another round of tenderness, Wu Hao reluctantly left So Kioran's room, but he would live near the central region during this period of time, probably for 10 years. After leaving the Wanhua Holy Land, Wu Hao sent a message to Wu Rolong, telling him that he had found his mother and would return home after 10 years. After sending the message, Wu Hao couldn't help but look at the communication stone in his hand with a frown, intending to find something to do. This world is still too monotonous. Immortal cultivators can only practice, and the methods of mortals are too simple. It would be great if there were TikTok or something like that. Thinking of this, Wu Hao soon had an idea in his mind. After breaking through to the Great Emperor, the memories of his past life became extremely clear in his mind. He might be able to transform the entire profound heaven world into the appearance of the earth. However, profound heaven world is much larger than the earth, almost the size of the entire Milky Way. If one wants to transform profound heaven world into the appearance of the earth, then he will probably have to pay a huge price. He did what he said. Although Wu Hao's scientific research ability might not have been very good before, he is now the Great Emperor. He can understand things quickly. As long as he knows the principle, making a mobile phone is not a problem for him. It took Wu Hao nearly 15 days to build a computer. After all, it required typing in codes and the like. Looking at the computer in front of him, Wu Hao couldn't help but murmur in his heart, why is the good Xiaoxian style changing towards the cyberpunk style? But no matter what, it's too boring. Wu Hao doesn't like to practice, so why not develop something to change the world, and most importantly, make money? The grassroots of profound heaven world are mortals, and the immortal cultivators basically don't care about the affairs of mortals, which means that mortals are basically still living an ancient life. If they develop mobile phones themselves, they can earn more money. It took a little more time to develop the code, and it took almost a month to write out a complete set of mobile phone system code. The next step is to make the mobile phone and then install the system program into it. Unfortunately, this is a huge project and it may take a long time to complete. The main purpose is to create those things in profound heaven world, which is also a very challenging task for Wu Hao. Consider becoming a vassal of our Li dynasty. Otherwise, the price will be beyond the reach of your Wu Chamber of Commerce. At the same time, Wu Rolong was doing business outside the Wu family, but in front of him stood a figure wrapped in black cloth. It was the hidden man sent by Li Sukan. Feeling the unfathomable strength of the hidden player in front of him, Wu Rolong's expression suddenly became ugly. He could imagine that the Wu Chamber of Commerce would attract some people's attention, but he did not expect that these people would be so bold as to come and rob directly. What if I say no? Wu Rolong took a deep breath and looked at the other party without any fear in his eyes. Although he is only at the peak of transcending tribulation now, he will soon be able to break through to the saint level. In addition, there are 3 early saint kings in the Wu Chamber of Commerce, as well as strength that his father has never demonstrated. Therefore, when facing the oppression of the Li dynasty, Wu Rolong did not choose to surrender. If the other party dared to take it, then let's fight. If my father were here, he would probably do the same, Wu Rolong thought to himself. Chapter 17. Well, you are a very interesting person. If that's the case, then go and die. After hearing Wu Rolong's answer, Anzi obviously did not expect Wu Rolong to refuse. But they didn't hesitate at all and took action the next second. Since Wu Rolong didn't want to, they could just kill him. Anyway, what they needed was the Wu Chamber of Commerce, not Wu Rolong himself. Seeing the other party take action, Wu Rolong's pupils trembled slightly. It was obvious that he did not expect that the other party would actually take action without a word. The peak of transcending tribulation was completely vulnerable in front of the peak of Saint King. Wu Rolong had no time to react and could only stand there and watch. But just when the opponent was about to kill Wu Rolong, a terrifying aura burst out from Wu Rolong's body and directly killed the hidden pawn at the peak of the Saint King. Even Wu Rolong and the other party didn't have time to react before the accident happened. Such a terrifying power, is it the method left by my father? Wu Rolong stood there for a long time before he reacted, muttering to himself. It was obvious that he had not expected that such a powerful enemy could not even hold out for a moment against the power left by his father. This also made Wu Rolong curious about his father's realm. Could it be that he had reached the level of a quasi-emperor? On the other side, Wu Hao, who was doing scientific research with his head down, seemed to sense something. He frowned slightly and looked towards the distant southern domain. The restriction on Rolong has been triggered. Is someone targeting our Wu family so soon? As the owner of the restriction, Wu Hao could naturally feel whose restriction was triggered, and it was Wu Rolong. From the beginning, Wu Hao knew that if the Wu family set up the Wu Chamber of Commerce, they would definitely be targeted by some people, but he did not expect that the other party would dare to kill them directly. After all, the triggering condition of the restriction left by Wu Hao is that it will only be triggered when it is strong enough to kill the person under the restriction, which means that the opponent's previous attack was enough to kill Wu Rolong. But Rolong is fine, and even the power of the ban has not been consumed much. It can be seen that the enemy is not very strong. I will deal with it when I return. Wu Hao did not rush back immediately. After all, the matter was not very serious. Besides, Wu Hao wanted to use this matter as a test for Wu Rolong to see if Wu Rolong had the ability to stand on his own. On the other side, in the Li dynasty, Li Sukan, who was handling government affairs, suddenly frowned. As the owner of the hidden chess piece, he could naturally feel that the hidden chess piece was dead, and his expression suddenly became ugly. Wu's Chamber of Commerce, who is behind you? Even my hidden man at the peak of Saint King is no match for you. If that's the case, then I think it's necessary for me to go to Wu's Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, Li Sukan had not expected that a small Wu's Chamber of Commerce would have the ability to kill his hidden man, and he had also instructed that if the investigation revealed that there was no powerful force behind the Wu's Chamber of Commerce, then they should subdue the Wu's Chamber of Commerce. But now that the Wu Chamber of Commerce actually dared to kill his hidden man, the matter had developed to the point of a life and death struggle. No matter who was behind the Wu Chamber of Commerce, he had to be dealt with. At this time in the Wu Chamber of Commerce, the three early Saint King worshippers felt the commotion coming from Wu Rolong and quickly came to Wu Rolong's side. President, what happened? The three Saint Kings who were initially worshipped were named Du Yangfeng, Chen Chukyang, and Wang Zheyu. It's okay. The Li dynasty sent people here, but I have already dealt with them. Hearing Wu Rolong's words, Wu Yangfeng and the others couldn't help but be shocked. Part of them was shocked that Wu Rolong had such a powerful force that he could even kill a peak Saint King. When they felt it just now, they felt the realm of the person who was killed. Although it was only for a moment, they still felt it, that it was the peak of the Saint King. The other part was that they didn't expect that the Li dynasty would actually target their Wu Chamber of Commerce. However, considering that their Wu Chamber of Commerce had been developing very rapidly in the entire southern domain during this period of time, it didn't seem very strange that it was targeted by the Li dynasty. President, so you just killed the people from the Li dynasty? Chen Chukyang's face was full of worry. Wu Rolong snorted coldly before speaking slowly. Why, the Li dynasty wants to attack my Wu Chamber of Commerce, so I won't fight back. That's not the case. It's just that the Li dynasty has several quasi-emperor grade ancestors in charge. With the current strength of our Wu Chamber of Commerce, I'm afraid we are no match for the Li dynasty. Chen Chukyang said quickly that although Wu Rolong had just killed a Saint King at the peak level, Chen Chukyang and the others did not think that the Wu Chamber of Commerce could be a match for the Li dynasty. After all, if the Wu Chamber of Commerce was really powerful, they would not hire people like them. Thinking of this, Chen Chukyang hurriedly explained. President, you don't know that the Li dynasty is not as simple as it seems. Although the strongest person in the Li dynasty is their Emperor Li Sukan, in fact, there are sleeping ancestors in the Li dynasty, or quasi-emperor grade others. When they said this, the expressions of the three priests all became extremely heavy. Wu Rolong could naturally hear the meaning in Chen Chukyang's tone, and then spoke without hesitation. If you are afraid of becoming an enemy of the Li dynasty, then you can leave my Wu Chamber of Commerce now. President, we are not afraid, we are just giving you some advice. We have all been taken care of by you when we were in trouble. How could we choose to leave just because you are in trouble? Chen Chukyang and the other two looked at each other and then spoke together. They were all taken care of by Wu Rolong when they were extremely short of spirit stones, and then they became the priests of Wu's Chamber of Commerce in order to repay Wu Rolong. Although they could get a little more salary by becoming the priests of Wu's Chamber of Commerce, they were more concerned about repaying his kindness. Of course, this was also their betting that there was a force behind the president that was no less powerful than the Li dynasty. Otherwise, how could he remain so calm after knowing that the Li dynasty was targeting him? Okay, I understand. Go down first. I have other plans for this operation against the Li dynasty. Yes, President. After Chen Chukyang and others went down, Wu Rolong took out the communication stone and sent a message to his father. Father, the Li dynasty has taken action against our Wu Chamber of Commerce. Do you have the strength to withstand it? Soon, the communication stone vibrated and Wu Hao's voice came from the other side. Just do it, your father will support you. Wu Hao's words were like a shot of sedative to Wu Ralong, and he felt more confident. I understand, father. I will let the Li dynasty know how powerful our Wu family is. Chapter 18. Wu Ralong did what he said and soon launched a series of actions against the Li dynasty. Within just 1 month, the industries under the Li dynasty suffered heavy losses. Upon hearing the news, Li Sukin's expression suddenly became extremely ugly. It was obvious that he had not expected that the Wu Chamber of Commerce would dare to take action against his Li dynasty. Something is wrong. It is definitely wrong. The Wu Chamber of Commerce actually dared to attack our Li dynasty. There must be someone behind it. Maybe they are waiting for our Li dynasty to fall into their trap. Li Sukin knew very well that he had to stay calmer at this time, and he couldn't let his momentary anger ruin the entire Li dynasty. Now that the Wu Chamber of Commerce dared to so arrogantly attack the industries of his Li dynasty, there must be a powerful existence behind it that gave the Wu Chamber of Commerce the confidence to attack him. After taking a deep breath, Li Sukin suppressed his anger, and then waved his hand to call a servant. Make the arrangements. I will be visiting the Wu Chamber of Commerce in 3 days. Yes, Your Majesty. Wu Chamber of Commerce, I want to see what kind of monsters are behind you. It's best not to be an enemy of my Li dynasty. Otherwise, I don't mind asking my ancestors to destroy you. When he said this, waves of terrifying murderous aura burst out from Li Sukin's body. His supreme level of cultivation gave him the confidence to do anything. On the other side, Wu Ralong quickly received the news, and a hint of amusement appeared on his face. Interesting, he actually dares to come here? If that's the case, then let's give him a warning. With the confidence given by his father, Wu Ralong was fearless, especially since the hidden man wanted to kill him. How could Wu Ralong have a good face towards Li Sukin, the mastermind behind the scenes? Soon, 3 days passed. Li Sukin stood in front of the imperial palace and waved his hand. The next second, 9 huge figures flew from a distance. They were 9 dragons, and their auras were at the peak of the great sage. This is the exclusive vehicle used by the leader of the Li dynasty to travel, the 9 dragons cart. Li Sukin's mind moved, and he appeared on the 9 dragons in the next second. The 9 great sage-level dragons roared, and the terrifying dragon roars spread throughout the entire Li dynasty palace. Then he flew towards the Wu Chamber of Commerce. If it was not for the purpose of giving the Wu Chamber of Commerce a little deterrence, Li Sukin would not have used the 9 dragons to travel. After all, the expense was too high. Beside Li Sukin, there were several guards at the peak of Saint King level, following Li Sukin towards the Wu Chamber of Commerce. Although the guards at the peak of Great Sage level would be useless if Li Sukin really encountered a problem that he could not solve, their main purpose was to let them take action when Li Sukin was not in a position to do so. After all, what is Li Sukin's position? We can't let him do everything himself, right? Soon, Li Sukin arrived at the Wu Chamber of Commerce on the 9 dragons and surrounded by a group of Saint King Peak guards. However, when he arrived at the door of the Wu Chamber of Commerce headquarters, Li Sukin's expression couldn't help but become ugly. The entrance of the Wu Chamber of Commerce was almost the same as usual, and there was no respect at all for Li Sukin's arrival. Thinking of this, Li Sukin became even more angry. Wu's Chamber of Commerce had better not let me find out that you are bluffing me, otherwise I will kill the entire Wu's Chamber of Commerce. Soon, as Li Sukin thought of it, one of the guards at the peak of Saint King level came to the Wu Chamber of Commerce, and his voice came out like thunder. His Majesty is here in person, why don't you, the Wu Chamber of Commerce, come out to greet him? Originally, Li Sukin thought that he had given enough face to the Wu Chamber of Commerce, and Wu Ralong should also give him some face and come out to greet him, right? However, he did not expect that there was still no movement within the Wu Chamber of Commerce. Just when Li Sukin was about to get angry, he saw a figure slowly walking out of the Wu Chamber of Commerce, then looking up at Li Sukin and the others in the sky, with no fear on his face as he spoke. Since your Majesty has arrived, please come in, but not everyone can follow you in. Your Majesty can only come in with 3 guards. The one who stepped forward was Wu Kyunkan, the 3rd generation of the Wu family. After receiving the news from Wu Ralong, he came to the Wu Chamber of Commerce to help. Of course, after knowing that the Li dynasty was going to target their Wu Chamber of Commerce, Wu Kyunkan was still very panicked. But after hearing from his father that his grandfather was very powerful and there was no need to worry about a small Li dynasty, Wu Kyunkan dared to stand up. Of course, the current Wu Kyunkan is just a small soul formation peak, so he is still a little scared when facing Lee Sukin and others. After all, any one of Lee Sukin and others in the sky can kill him countless times with just a sneeze. After seeing Wu Kyunkan go in, Lee Sukin's expression turned ugly. It was obvious that he didn't expect that even though he personally came out, the Wu Chamber of Commerce still didn't give him any face. Your Majesty, the Wu Chamber of Commerce is so ungrateful, why should we give them face? Just do it. An early Supreme General who came with Lee Sukin had an extremely ugly expression on his face. He came in front of Lee Sukin and made a suggestion. But it was obvious that Wu Rolong's behavior made Lee Sukin even more wary. If he was not absolutely sure, how could he dare to be so arrogant? Everyone, stay where you are. Chen Ziyi, Yu Wenqiang, Wang Feng, the three of you follow me in. The three people Lee Sukin mentioned are all his confidants, and their cultivation level is in the early stage of Supreme. After hearing what Lee Sukin said, although the others were unwilling, they had no choice but to wait outside. Lee Sukin, surrounded by Chen Ziyi and the other two, came to the door of Wu's Chamber of Commerce, and then saw the envoy of Wu's Chamber of Commerce. The messenger said with a polite smile on his face. You must be His Majesty, please follow me. After saying that, he walked straight towards the depths of the Wu Chamber of Commerce, and Lee Sukin and others had no choice but to follow him. Soon, Lee Sukin and others arrived at the depths of the Wu Chamber of Commerce, where Wu Rolong had already set up a table for a banquet. After seeing Lee Sukin, he sat in the main seat and said with a smile on his face. This should be Your Majesty, please take a seat. You are so brave. You dare to sit down when His Majesty is here. Chen Ziyi himself had a bad temper. After seeing Wu Rolong's disrespect, he immediately became furious. When he was about to take action, he was stopped by Lee Sukin. Your Majesty? Chen Ziyi asked in confusion, while Lee Sukin took a deep breath and looked at Wu Rolong with deep eyes. He could sense that although Wu Rolong in front of him was only at the peak of transcending tribulation, he carried a faint sense of threat. It was that sense of threat that told Lee Sukin that Wu Rolong was definitely not a simple person. Chapter 19. It's okay. Today I am here as a guest of Lord Wu. How can I ask Lord Wu to stand up to greet the guests? I will just sit down. Lee Sukin took a deep breath and calmed himself down. The fact that he could feel threatened at least showed that there was a quasi-emperor grade expert behind Wu Rolong. It was not without quasi-emperor grade experts in his Li dynasty, but the problem was that the quasi-emperor ancestor of his Li dynasty was about to die of old age. If he were to be born, he would not be able to return even if he wanted to lie in a coffin. Therefore, Lee Sukin would never ask his ancestors to take action unless he had no other choice, and as far as he knew, the same was true for the other three dynasties. Haha, Your Majesty is a man of taste. Wu Rolong looked at Lee Sukin and spoke slowly with a smile on his face, but that smile seemed like a mockery no matter how you looked at it. This made Chen Ziyi and others unbearable. That's enough. Your Majesty is not someone you can laugh at. Stand still where you are and don't attack. Lee Sukin took a deep breath and stopped Chen Ziyi and the others with a stern face. He was joking. If they took action, Lee Sukin was sure that they would be the ones to die. But Chen Ziyi and the others didn't know this, and their faces were filled with disbelief. However, Lee Sukin ignored him and sat directly opposite Wu Rolong, putting on a smile on his face again and speaking. Lord Wu, I am very curious about how you were able to create such a large Wu Chamber of Commerce in less than 100 years. Do you have any tricks or is there someone helping you behind the scenes? Everyone was a smart person, so Lee Sukin did not hide anything and asked directly. Wu Rolong sighed, with an extremely melancholy expression on his face, and spoke in a lonely tone. Ah, I didn't want to do that either, but when it comes to careers, I was just planning to have some fun, but I didn't expect to accidentally create such a huge chamber of commerce. I'm really helpless. Hearing the Versailles tone in Wu Rolong's voice, Lee Sukin's expression froze for a moment. Why did Wu Rolong's arrogant expression seem so provocative? But Lee Sukin still resisted the urge to fight with Wu Rolong and laughed. Lord Wu is really humorous, but no matter how you look at it, it seems that Lord Wu has received help from a noble person. There are no outsiders present today. Why don't you tell me who is behind you? Hey, stop talking nonsense. Who said there are no outsiders? Aren't you an outsider? And why should I tell you who is behind me? Wu Rolong frowned slightly and retorted mercilessly. Hearing such disrespectful words, before Li Sukin could even open his mouth, Chen Ziyi and others behind him could not help themselves. After all, in their hearts, Li Sukin had always been the supreme being, so how could they allow Wu Rolong to insult him like this? How dare you say such words to His Majesty? I think you have already found a way to die. Come and die. The hot-tempered Chen Ziyi immediately rushed towards Wu Rolong angrily, but at the moment of attack he was slapped in the abdomen by Li Sukin and immediately knelt on the ground. You are so brave. I haven't even opened my mouth yet. Who told you to do it? Chen Ziyi's face was full of surprise. It was obvious that he didn't expect Li Sukin to actually attack him. You have to know that I did it for His Majesty's face. How could His Majesty do that to me? But at this moment, Li Sukin was in a situation where he had no way of speaking out his grievances. After all, only he himself could feel the faint threat from Wu Rolong, and if he spoke out, he could not be sure that Wu Rolong would not take action. Humph, this slap is a lesson for you. Next time, don't mess around without my permission. Li Sukin snorted coldly, and no longer paid attention to Chen Ziyi behind him. He turned to look at Wu Rolong, and said with the same smile on his face. My dear Wu Iking, I'm sorry to have embarrassed you. Ha ha ha, that's really funny. After all, we have to manage our subordinates well now. We have to admit our mistakes and stand at attention when we are beaten. If our subordinates act recklessly, what are we in charge for? Wu Rolong also laughed, not disguising the teasing look in his eyes at all. Seeing this, Li Sukin was a little angry, but he could only laugh along. Just when Li Sukin was about to ask, Wu Rolong finally spoke. Your Majesty, a while ago ABD came to me and said that you ordered me to be killed, but I killed him. I wonder if your Majesty knows about this? After all, I am worried that someone will use your name to slander your Majesty. When Li Sukin heard Wu Rolong suddenly bring up this matter, his pupils shrank slightly, but he quickly reacted, his face full of anger. What? Someone actually dared to attack Lord Wu? And in my name? They are really very bold. Slander, absolutely naked slander. If I knew who was slandering me, I would definitely make them die miserably. Li Sukin thought that Wu Rolong said this just to scare him, but he didn't expect that Wu Rolong would snort coldly the next second. Li Sukin, stop pretending. Everyone knows what you did. If you are a man, then admit it. I can still respect you as a man. Hearing this, Li Sukin lowered his head for a moment, and when he looked up again, his eyes were full of calmness, and he spoke lightly. It seems that Lord Wu has his own opinion. If that's the case, then I don't need to say anything more. Just do whatever you like. The most urgent thing is to leave here first. Li Sukin can feel that Wu Rolong was ready to turn against him when he said this, and he even has the confidence to survive or even counterattack at the hands of these four supremes. In this case, no matter what happens, the most important thing is to leave here first. If Wu Rolong still chases us after we return to the Li dynasty, we will have to ask the Quasi-Emperor to kill Wu Rolong. Humph, from today on, my Wu Chamber of Commerce will launch a comprehensive attack on the industries of the Li dynasty. We will fight to the death. After Wu Rolong finished speaking, he stood up and prepared to leave, but then he thought of something and looked at Chen Ziyi and the others with a sneer. Following your Majesty like this, is the Supreme Realm very majestic? Is the 9 Dragons very prestigious? Upon hearing this, Chen Ziyi and others dared not say anything, but Wu Rolong did not give up. He looked at Li Sukin and sneered. Eat shit. Chapter 20. Li Sukin and the others left in embarrassment. Although they were very angry, they still endured it because they were afraid. Dad, are we really going to take action against the Li dynasty? After Li Sukin and others left, Wu Quncan came to Wu Rolong and asked with a little worry on his face. Wu Rolong snorted coldly and said. The Li dynasty is about to attack me, your father. If I can swallow this, am I still worthy of being your father? Or are you scared? Afraid? How could I be afraid? Isn't it true that the Li dynasty has a quasi-emperor patriarch in charge? So I'm worried that our family can't be a match for them. Wu Quncan thought about it and spoke. After all, he didn't know what realm his grandfather was in. He just knew that his son was the most powerful person in their family. But even his son could barely fight against the Holy King and seemed no match for the Li dynasty. Don't worry, your grandfather said he'll be watching everything, so we just need to go ahead and do it. After hearing his father's words, Wu Quncan had no choice but to agree, no matter how worried he was. Then he returned to the Wu family and began to concentrate on his cultivation. On the other side, after returning to the dynasty, Li Sukin had no time to have a heart-to-heart talk with Chen Ziyi and others, and went straight to the forbidden area of the Li dynasty. The current emperor of the Li dynasty, Li Sukin, requests to see the ancestors. Li Sukin stood at the gate of the forbidden area and said respectfully that the forbidden area was guarded by a formation, and unless the ancestors and others allowed it, even if he was the emperor, he would not be able to meet the ancestors directly. As Li Sukin spoke, the formation restriction at the entrance of the forbidden area was soon released. Seeing this, Li Sukin also directly entered the forbidden area. Following Li Sukin into the forbidden area, I saw 18 coffins standing in the forbidden area, but these were not ordinary coffins, they were coffins for the afterlife, and lying in them could prolong one's life to a great extent. The quasi-emperor's lifespan of 600,000 years can be concealed by lying in the coffin of rebirth, and his lifespan is extended to a terrifying level of 1.2 million years. In today's profound heaven world, let alone the great emperor, even the difficulty of breaking through to the quasi-emperor has increased greatly, so unless there are special circumstances, the quasi-emperors of profound heaven world are basically in a dormant state. Su-kun, what do you want from us? After Li Sukin entered the forbidden area, an ancient and solemn voice came from one of the coffins. Seeing this, Li Sukin quickly replied. My dear ancestors, my Li dynasty has encountered a crisis, so I have come to seek your help. After saying that, Li Sukin quickly told the story of the Wu Chamber of Commerce. After listening to it, the ancestors in the 18 coffins suddenly fell silent. They naturally believed that Li Sukin would not deceive them, so it was very likely that a new quasi-emperor had appeared in the southern domain, and was targeting their Li dynasty. After a long while, a voice came from the coffin in the middle. Just go ahead and do it. It seems that if we don't take action, everyone will think that our Li dynasty is easy to control. If the other party dares to fight back, this ancestor will take action. After hearing the words from the coffin in the middle, Li Sukin's face was full of joy. He recognized that coffin. Lying inside was an old ancestor at the peak of the quasi-emperor level, named Li Tianran. Yes, ancestor. Upon hearing this, Li Sukin hurried down to carry out the order. Soon, a war between the Li dynasty and the Wu Chamber of Commerce was on the verge of breaking out. Of course, the war here did not mean direct combat, otherwise the ancestor in the forbidden area would have opened his coffin and taken action long ago. The war here refers to a commercial war, which is also what Wu Rolong is thinking now. If it comes to strength, I am afraid that unless his father Wu Hao returns, they will not be the opponent of the Li dynasty. But if it is a business war, then he doesn't need to be afraid. Over the years, he has learned a lot of business knowledge from his father, so he naturally knows what to do. Half a year passed in a flash. The business war between the Li dynasty and the Wu Chamber of Commerce was in full swing. On the other side, Wu Hao was concentrating on developing his own mobile phone. Finally, half a year later, Wu Hao made the model of the first mobile phone. Looking at the phone in his hand, Wu Hao's face was full of melancholy. The last time he saw the phone was the last time. But now is not the time to be sad. I tried to open the phone and turned it on and off. There was no problem. The interface was still very clean. After all, other software needed to be developed. Isn't my son at war with the Li dynasty? Give this thing to him. When Wu Hao thought of this, he rushed back to the southern domain at full speed. Now Wu Hao has already broken through to the great emperor late stage. After all, with the feedback from Wu Yifan and Wu Yida, two sons of destiny, it is difficult for his cultivation not to improve. Soon, Wu Hao also arrived at the headquarters of the Wu Chamber of Commerce. At this moment, Wu Rolong's face was full of high spirits, because he finally broke through to the Saint Realm not long ago. You know, he is less than 100 years old. A saint who is less than 100 years old is extremely rare in the entire profound heaven world. But Wu Rolong didn't stay excited for too long and planned to continue working. An early saint was nothing in front of the Li dynasty. The moment Wu Rolong turned around, he saw Wu Hao sitting in his seat. Dad, why are you back? Didn't you say you would be back in 10 years? Wu Rolong said with some surprise on his face, but Wu Hao waved his hand and took out his mobile phone. This is a little gadget I made for my father. Here are the production steps. There are also some other small programs and base station construction. I hope you can spread these things throughout the southern domain as soon as possible. When Wu Rolong saw Wu Hao taking out a thick stack of plans and the novel-looking mobile phone, he was stunned where he was, but he quickly reacted and excitedly flipped through the plan. Then he played with the phone for a while, and his expression became even more excited. You know, he learned his business skills from his father, so Wu Rolong also knew that if he could make this thing, it might really change the entire profound heaven world. Father, I understand. I will get it out as soon as possible. Wu Rolong also knew how important this matter was. If they could get these things out, their Wu Chamber of Commerce would definitely become the largest force in the entire profound heaven world. Yeah, I understand. Wu Hao stood up and left after saying this. Since his son had taken care of the matter, he didn't have to worry about it anymore. He was waiting for his son to transform the entire profound heaven world into what he wanted to see. He thought it wouldn't take too long. After all, it took less than 300 years from ancient times to the present in his previous life. Now with his help, plus the terrifying thinking ability of the immortal cultivators, it might take 100 years to complete the transformation of the southern domain, and 1,000 years for the profound heaven world to change. Dynasties. Chapter 21. I have to say that Wu Rolong is indeed a talented person. After getting the things from Wu Hao, he quickly mass-produced the mobile phones. Of course, it is not enough to just produce it, but also necessary to ensure that various functions are complete before it can be released. Although the cultivator was very powerful, it still took 2 full months to complete the construction of the modern company and the production of various hardware. President, this thing is really good. If what is written in the book is true, then it won't be a problem for our Wu's Chamber of Commerce to become the largest chamber of commerce in the entire profound heaven world. Wu Yangfeng played with the phone in his hand and said with an excited expression on his face. At the same time, he was also very grateful that he did not leave when the president was down and out, otherwise how could they have been able to obtain such tremendous wealth? Well, let's not talk too much. We need to complete the construction of the base station as soon as possible. The signal is the most important. After we have the signal, our mobile phones can be sold. In addition, we need to recruit various programmers to complete the development of various programs. I promise you here that once our Wu Chamber of Commerce becomes the largest chamber of commerce in the entire profound heaven world, we will definitely help you break through to the Quasi-Emperor. Wu Rolong also learned most of Wu Hao's Pua skills, so after hearing Wu Rolong's words, Wu Yangfeng and the other two could not hide their excitement at all, and they almost knelt down to Wu Rolong to express their excitement. President, we get it. As long as we are alive, we will never let anything happen to you. Let's not talk about this for now. Go and urge them to work. After learning the techniques from Wu Hao, Wu Rolong found a large number of gold core cultivators to learn these techniques. Needless to say, the learning ability of the gold core cultivators was excellent. They understood everything quickly and learned how to type code quickly. After 2 months, we were able to complete the development of some products. The next step is just to wait until the base station is built and the signal is available before the mobile phone can be sold. Wu Rolong believes that as long as the mobile phone is released, not to mention ordinary people, even cultivators will be very interested. After all, traditional communication stones consume spiritual energy, but mobile phones are different. They can be used as long as there is power and signal. Most importantly, the function of communication stones is extremely simple, while mobile phones can do everything. When the time comes, add a shaking shadow. Wu Rolong believes that it will definitely attract the favor of many immortal cultivators. Even if he can create a formation or something, the mobile phone can also save lives. It will definitely make his Wu's Chamber of Commerce very popular. On the other hand, the Li dynasty also felt exhausted physically and mentally in the business war with the Wu Chamber of Commerce. Not only because of the series of strange business models launched by the Wu Chamber of Commerce, but most importantly, the Wu Chamber of Commerce's terrifying financial strength. You should know that his Li dynasty invested a full 100,000 top-grade spirit stones in this business war. You should know that it is difficult for a normal dynasty to come up with so many top-grade spirit stones. It can be seen that Li Sukin really spent a lot of money this time. But he didn't expect that it didn't cause any waves at all, but instead his Li dynasty's industries suffered a continuous decline. Damn it, is it really true that the only way to solve the problem is to use force? After confirming that there was a quasi-emperor grade fighting force behind the Wu's Chamber of Commerce, Li Sukin no longer wanted to confront the Wu's Chamber of Commerce head-on. After all, if he asked the ancestor to take action, the consumption would not be compensated by 100,000 top-grade spirit stones. The effect of the coffin of rebirth is only once, that is to say, once you come out of the coffin of rebirth, the extra 600,000 years of life will disappear directly. The ancestors of the Li dynasty have lived for a long time, more than 600,000 years. In other words, they are dead as soon as they come out, and they will not be able to hold on for much longer. If he had not been forced to do so, he would never have sacrificed his ancestor. Damn it, I can only hold on for now. The situation of my Li dynasty is not very good, but how can his Wu Chamber of Commerce be any better? Wait, the loser will definitely be the Wu Chamber of Commerce. But what Li Sukan didn't know was that because of Wu Hao's previous help, the Wu Chamber of Commerce obtained 10,000 times more resources each time. So let alone the Li dynasty, even if the Holy Land came, it might not be more powerful than the Wu Chamber of Commerce. Soon, the time on the other side came to the day when the vast secret realm was opened. Lying in Wu Hao's arms, So Kioran said with a reluctant expression on her face. Hubby, the Hodang secret realm is about to open. I'm going to go in. You have to be careful outside during this time. Don't mess around with other girls. When she said the latter part, there was a hint of threat in So Kioran's tone, if only her hand was not placed on the soft flesh on Wu Hao's waist. Wu Hao coughed quickly and said. You must be joking, honey. I am the god of pure love and war. I will never have a harem in the immortal cultivation world. What is the pure love god of war? It was the first time that So Kioran heard this word from Wu Hao's mouth, and her beautiful eyes were full of curiosity. Wu Hao explained seriously. Listen, the so-called pure love god of war means that you will only love one person in your life. So, in this life, I will only have you, my wife, as my woman. Hearing Wu Hao's words, So Kioran felt satisfied in her heart, but there was a proud expression on her face. Well, since you said so, I will choose to believe you. By the way, honey, how long will you be inside? Wu Hao thought of something and asked curiously. After all, the secret realm has a time limit for opening. Of course, there is also a realm limit, but it is nothing for Wu Hao. The vast secret realm was opened up by a peak quasi-emperor before his death. His inheritance is contained in it, so over the years, countless geniuses have wanted to enter the secret realm to find the other party's inheritance. As long as they find it, they will have a great chance of breaking through to the quasi-emperor level. Of course, because Wu Hao is the great emperor, the restrictions set by the peak quasi-emperor cannot pose a problem to Wu Hao at all. As long as Wu Hao wants to, entering is just a matter of thought. It's only a year. Be good, I'll be out after a year in there. So Kioran coaxed Wu Hao as if he were a child, and after hearing that he couldn't see his wife for a whole year, Wu Hao couldn't help feeling reluctant, but he still said stubbornly. No, I'm very angry and hard to comfort, unless you feed me milk. They are already an old couple, how could So Kioran not know what Wu Hao meant? Even with just one look from Wu Hao, So Kioran knew that they should change positions. Well, since the child wants to drink milk, then I, as a mother, can only feed him. But the plot changes afterwards. It's not just about feeding, but also about other things that adults like to do. The following content omits 100,000 words. Chapter 22. Soon the day of separation arrived. Wu Hao couldn't help but sigh as he watched So Kioran's departing back. A short separation is better than a new marriage. Now they are going to be separated for another year, which is still a bit depressing for Wu Hao. After knowing that his wife was going to enter the Hodang secret realm, Wu Hao had already investigated the Hodang secret realm thoroughly. The first is the formation of the Hodang secret realm. The Hodang secret realm was opened up by the quasi-emperor Hodang when he died unexpectedly 1 million years ago. It contains his inheritance, but no one has found it for all these years. There is also the issue of restrictions. Naturally, there are prohibitions in the vast secret realm, and only cultivators below the level of Saint King 10,000 years old are allowed to enter. So Kioran is obviously in this group. No, I'm still worried about my wife's safety, but it would be a bit troublesome if I go in. Oh, let Wu Yifan go in. With Wu Yifan's current strength, he can still kill people in a small secret realm. And with Wu Yifan's destiny as the son of destiny, maybe he can even find the inheritance of the Hodang quasi-emperor. Wu Hao made the decision quickly, and when he found Wu Yifan happened to be facing the 3 powerful Saint Kings in the early stage, and was still running away. After all, his realm had not yet fully recovered, and his ancient saint body was stuck at the 7th layer and had not broken through, so when facing them he could only flee in embarrassment. Damn it, how come they always find me? Wu Yifan was puzzled as to why they always came to his house not long after he moved to a new place. He never thought that they might have done something to him. Just when Wu Yifan was about to escape, everything around him suddenly changed. This sudden change made Wu Yifan nervous for a moment, but a voice that came afterwards made Wu Yifan feel relieved. Yifan. Grandfather? Why are you here in the central region? Wu Yifan put away his guard and turned to look behind him. Who else could have taken him away if not Wu Hao? I came to the central region to do my own things, but now I have something for you to do. Wu Hao looked at Wu Yifan, and then told him about letting him enter the vast secret realm to secretly protect Soki Oren. After hearing about the vast secret realm, Wu Yifan's eyes suddenly lit up. Grandfather, how did you know that I also wanted to enter the vast secret realm? Well, okay, the child of destiny is the child of destiny, and such a benefit will not be missed. It's okay. This is your great-grandmother's portrait. Remember this. When you enter the Hodang secret realm, take care of your great-grandmother. You can reveal your identity when necessary, but you can't say that I sent you in. Wu Hao reminded him that after all, this kind of thing should be done secretly, there is no need to do it openly. I understand, Grandpa. I promise to complete the task. Wu Yifan agreed with a serious face, and then was sent by Wu Hao to the vast secret realm. After all, one only needs to reach the Saint Realm to enter the vast secret realm, regardless of the forces behind it. Even an independent cultivator can enter. This is why every time the vast secret realm is opened, it will attract the attention of many forces in the profound heaven world. Mixed in the crowd, Wu Yifan looked around for a while and soon found Soki Oren. Is that the grandma? She is really beautiful. No wonder I am so handsome. Wu Yifan thought secretly in his heart, and his gaze naturally attracted Soki Oren's attention. Looking at Wu Yifan not far away, Soki Oren was a little surprised. She didn't know why, but when she saw Wu Yifan in front of her, she actually had a feeling of closeness, as if Wu Yifan in front of her was her relative. But before she could think about it anymore, the vast secret realm opened up the next second. Seeing this, Soki Oren could only suppress her curiosity and followed the crowd into the vast secret realm. At the same time, following behind Soki Oren, Mirong Shui couldn't help but sneer as she watched Soki Oren enter the secret realm. Just wait, Soki Oren. You will die here when the secret realm opens. There are 3 great saints at the peak level. I want to see how a saint like you can survive. After saying that, Mirong Shui also entered the vast secret realm. After a dizzy spell, Wu Yifan and others entered the vast secret realm. The transmission method of the vast secret realm is random transmission. As long as you step into the space transmission port, you will be randomly transmitted to somewhere in the secret realm. When the time is up, if you are not dead, you will be expelled from the secret realm. If you are dead, you will become the nutrients of the secret realm. The vast secret realm is really huge, bigger than any secret realm I've encountered before. Wu Yifan looked around and muttered to himself, not noticing at all that a ferocious beast at the peak of saint level had quietly come up behind him, opened its bloody mouth and bit towards him. However, he didn't expect that the next second Wu Yifan turned around and smashed the ferocious beast at the peak of sainthood with a clean punch, without even a bit of blood or flesh getting on its body. What a disgusting fellow! If my cultivation had been restored to its previous state, there would be no way you could get close to me. Wu Yifan sighed helplessly and said that his current realm had only recovered to the peak of the refining void realm, so if a ferocious beast at the peak of the saint realm wanted to launch a sneak attack on him, it would still be possible. Of course, Wu Yifan's physical body would notice it the moment the other party made a move. Wu Yifan's physical body could be considered a bug. After all, anyone who entered the vast secret realm would only look at the immortal Dao realm and would not care about the physical body's strength at all. That was why this allowed Wu Yifan, a ruthless man who could kill great saints and even saint kings at the peak of the refining realm, to come in by chance. Okay, let's go find Grandma first. Luckily, when Grandpa came in, he gave me a way to find Grandma. Otherwise, I really don't know how to find Grandma. When Wu Yifan thought of this, she took out the thing that Wu Hao had given her from the storage ring. It was a compass with the needle pointing to the north. Seeing this, Wu Yifan also hurried towards the north. He actually didn't care about the inheritance of the Quasi-Emperor. After all, with his great-grandfather around, what was the Quasi-Emperor? Although he didn't know what realm his grandfather was in, Wu Yifan had a feeling in his heart that his great-grandfather was definitely more powerful than some damn Quasi-Emperor. If I can protect my great-grandmother's safety, and my great-grandfather is happy to give me some opportunities, wouldn't that be much more cost-effective than the inheritance of the vast quasi-emperor? On the other side, Soki Oren planned to look for opportunities after entering the vast secret realm. People entered the secret realm either to find experience in fighting ferocious beasts, or to find opportunities to improve their own strength. But what Soki Oren didn't know at this moment was that there were already 3 great saints and an ant at the peak of the refining void realm rushing towards her. Chapter 23. On the other side, Soki Oren took out an exquisitely shaped compass from the storage ring after entering the secret realm. After Soki Oren transferred his own power to the compass, the traces of the powerful beasts around him appeared on the compass. With my current strength, ordinary peak saints are no longer my opponents. Now I can only find other fierce beasts of the great saint level to make me feel pressure, so that I can successfully break through to the great saint level. Soki Oren is now only one step away from the great saint realm, so he urgently needs a powerful battle to stimulate his potential and break through to the great saint realm. As long as she breaks through to the great saint realm, then her becoming a saint will be a foregone conclusion. Soon, Soki Oren found the most suitable target based on the aura of the ferocious beast on the compass, a ferocious beast with the cultivation level of an early great sage, and then rushed towards the direction of the ferocious beast. On the other hand, as long as they hold hands when entering, they will be teleported to the same area. This is exactly what happened to the 3 great saints who were instructed by Mirong Shui to enter the vast secret realm and kill Soki Oren. After entering the vast secret realm, the leader of the 3 great saints took out a jade plate from his storage ring. This was the jade plate that Mirong Shui had given to them when they came in. After he transferred his power to the jade plate flew in one direction, which was Soki Oren's direction. Seeing this, the 3 powerful great saints no longer hesitated and rushed towards Soki Oren. On the other side, Soki Oren quickly found the most suitable target, the 3-eyed flying eagle in the early stage of the great sage. After seeing someone intruding into its territory, the 3-eyed eagle began to roar threats at Soki Oren. Looking at the angry 3-eyed flying eagle, Soki Oren's expression was also extremely solemn. The 3-eyed flying eagle, as the name suggests, has 3 eyes on its head, 2 of which are specifically used to observe the opponent. Above the 2 eyes is a tightly closed eye, which contains the inherited talent of the 3-eyed eagle clan, the beam of destruction. It is said that once that eye opens, no one at the same level will be able to stop it. But Soki Oren had no other choice at the moment. With a wave of his hand, a long sword appeared in his hand and he rushed towards the 3-eyed flying eagle. As long as you stay close to the 3-eyed eagle's body and don't give the 3-eyed eagle the chance to use the destructive beam, there is a chance to defeat the 3-eyed eagle. Seeing Soki Oren attacking him, the 3-eyed eagle already knew that the person in front of him was coming for him, so he roared angrily and rushed towards Soki Oren. "Human, if you dare to enter my territory, you will die." The body and claws of the 3-eyed eagle were also extremely sharp. The moment they came into contact, Soki Oren's sword collided with the sharp claws of the 3-eyed eagle. The terrifying force attacked from the body of the 3-eyed eagle, causing Soki Oren to be knocked back several steps. But Soki Oren did not give up and rushed forward again. Soki Oren's speed was so fast that the 3-eyed eagle had no chance to use its beam of destruction. Its extremely hard hair also showed traces of blood under Soki Oren's continuous attacks. "Human, you are looking for death." The 3-eyed eagle roared and said that it had finally found an opportunity. The third eye on its head slowly opened. Almost at the same time, Soki Oren felt a great threat. Not good. Soki Oren's face changed, and the next second a beam of destructive light shot out from the third eye of the 3-eyed eagle, covering Soki Oren's body. But after the third eye slowly closed and the beam of destructive light disappeared, the 3-eyed eagle felt an extremely terrifying feeling coming from behind him. Almost at the same time as he turned around, a sword shadow swept across his head, and the 3-eyed flying eagle was killed. "Hey, you are indeed the 3-eyed eagle. Even I almost got fooled by you." Soki Oren took a deep breath after killing the 3-eyed flying eagle. His breath was a little weak. When the 3-eyed flying eagle's destructive beam burst out just now, Soki Oren could only barely resist it, but he was still affected by the destructive beam and suffered minor injuries. However, the benefits of this battle to Soki Oren far outweigh the disadvantages. For example, Soki Oren's combat awareness has been greatly improved, and after getting out, he can start preparing to break through to the Great Saint Realm. After collecting the body of the 3-eyed flying eagle, Soki Oren turned around and prepared to leave. The fluctuations of the battle here might attract others, and Soki-Oren was not used to being watched by others. But just as Soki-Oren was about to leave, almost at the same time, her body seemed to be alerted by something and disappeared from the spot. The next second after Soki-Oren left, a huge spear phantom directly annihilated the area within a radius of 10 kilometers. Soki-Oren, who had just escaped, was still in shock, with a look of shock on her face. This power is at the peak of the Great Sage level. Who on earth wants to attack me? After she realized what was happening, Soki-Oren's face turned ugly. It was obvious that she had not expected that she was being targeted. And judging from the intensity of the attack just now, it was obvious that the opponent was aiming to kill him. Oh, you are worthy of being Saint Su. You actually dodged me. Just when Soki-Oren was about to leave, she didn't expect a figure holding a spear to slowly walk towards her from a distance. The moment she saw the other person, Soki-Oren's pupils suddenly shrank. Dragon-slaying spear, Chen Feng. I didn't expect to meet you here. Since you are here, Qinbo, the phoenix-slaying blade, and Li Yuan, the black spirit sword, must be nearby too. As Soki-Oren finished her words, two figures slowly emerged from beside her. I never thought that Saint Su would still remember you. It's really an honor for me, Qinbo, the phoenix-slaying sword, looked at Soki-Oren and said with a smile he thought was very charming. Soki-Oren snorted coldly and said, who in the entire central region doesn't know about you three brothers? Since you have set your sights on me, I think you must be instructed by someone. Let me guess, is it Mirong Xuet? Saint Lady Su, you don't need to know this. You are taking money to help others get rid of disasters. Saint Lady Su, just be good and go on your way. Chen Feng said expressionlessly and in a very cold manner that they were not brainless people and would never reveal the identity of their employer before killing Soki-Oren. If Soki-Oren escapes, it would be their fault. Humph, you are timid. If that's the case, then come on. Soki-Oren snorted coldly. Although she knew that it was Mirong Shui who was targeting her behind her back, she had no evidence to prove it. I originally thought that Chen Feng and the others thought they were dead and would tell Mirong Shui about it, but I didn't expect them to be so cautious. Thinking of this, Soki-Oren did not hesitate any longer. She took out the teleportation talisman and disappeared on the spot. Chapter 24. Damn it, chase! After Chen Feng and the others saw Soki-Oren disappear from the spot, their expressions only changed slightly. After all, they were able to track down Soki-Oren's location, and there was still a long time before the one-year deadline for the vast secret realm to close. With their cultivation at the peak of the Great Sage level, it was obviously only a matter of time for them to catch up with Soki-Oren. Soki-Oren naturally thought of this as well, and her face darkened. Damn it! I just entered the Hodang secret realm and they found me not long ago. I absolutely don't believe it's just luck. When did they do this? But Soki-Oren had no time to investigate further, because she felt that Chen Feng and others were chasing her. Without time to think, Soki-Oren could only use a teleportation talisman again to escape into the distance. The most urgent task is how to survive in the secret realm for a year. Soki-Oren thought to herself, but soon she felt despair. Even though Soki-Oren was able to defeat the three-eyed flying eagle in the early stage of the Great Sage, that was only in the early stage, and it took Soki-Oren a lot of effort to kill it. Chen Feng and the others were all at the peak of the Great Sage level and were no match for her at all. Soki-Oren would be defeated by them in just one encounter. Soon, all the teleportation talismans on Soki-Oren's body were used up, and Chen Feng and others arrived again and surrounded Soki-Oren. Saint Su, I never thought you had so many teleportation talismans on you. You should have no more now, right? If you don't, then we have to take action. Qinbo looked at Soki-Oren with a sneer on his face. Seeing Qinbo's eyes, Soki-Oren felt despair in her heart. Why are Chen Feng and others called the three brothers of picking flowers? The key point lies in the two words picking flowers, because Chen Feng and others will choose to take action when they see beautiful women, and even beautiful female disciples of many forces have suffered from the hands of Chen Feng and others. Damn it, is it just a self-destruction? No, don't I still have the necklace my husband gave me? My husband's necklace should be able to protect me, right? At this moment, Soki-Oren finally remembered that she was still wearing the necklace given to her by Wu Hao. According to her husband, it contained enough power to protect her. Although he didn't know Wu Hao's realm, he thought it should not be lower than supreme, otherwise he would not be able to enter and exit the Wanhua Holy Land freely. Although she didn't know how her husband had broken through from the peak of chi refining to the supreme in less than 100 years, So Kyoran knew that her husband would never harm her. Seeing that So Kyoran was still prepared to resist to the death, Chen Feng and others couldn't help but get a little angry. After all, Mirong Shui had previously instructed that So Kyoran must be RD and then killed. If that's the case, then I'll have to cripple you first, Saint Su. Chen Feng snorted coldly and was about to make a move to cripple So Kyoran, but at this moment, a teasing voice slowly came from a distance. Hey, what are you guys playing? It looks like it's fun. Can you take me with you? Chen Feng and others turned around and looked in the direction where the voice came from, only to see Wu Yifan, who had arrived late, looking at Chen Ziyi and others with interest and asking. Chen Feng and the others sneered when they saw that the person who came was just a piece of trash who had just broken through to the peak of the void refinement realm. Kid, if you want to blame someone, blame yourself for seeing what happened to us. Then Chen Feng gave Li Yuan a look, and Li Yuan immediately understood. The next second, he drew out his sword and appeared in front of Wu Yifan, slashing down with the sword fiercely. When Chen Feng and Qin Bo turned around and were about to defile So Kyoran, they did not expect a loud bang to be heard from behind them. When Chen Feng and Qin Bo heard this voice, their faces changed slightly, because the sound of being hit by a sword was not like this. Thinking of this, Chen Feng and Qin Bo turned around hurriedly and saw Li Yuan standing in the same place, but the head that was supposed to be on his shoulder had disappeared. Wu Yifan, who was standing in front of Li Yuan, was intact, with just a little blood on his body. So Kyoran's pupils shrank slightly, because she saw it clearly just now. When Li Yuan was about to kill Wu Yifan took the initiative and punched Li Yuan directly, blowing up his head. Without waiting for everyone present to react, Wu Yifan attacked again and used all his strength to punch Li Yuan's body to pieces. Not even his nascent soul could escape. Until now, everyone present could no longer understand that Wu Yifan was playing the pig to eat the tiger. Damn it, second brother, come on together. Chen Feng had an angry look on his face, and he did not think that Wu Yifan was that powerful. After all, there were restrictions in the vast secret realm, and those at the Saint King level and above could not enter at all. This means that Wu Yifan should only be at the peak of the Great Sage level, and the reason he was able to kill Li Yuan just now was probably because of a sneak attack. But they obviously overestimated their own strength and underestimated Wu Yifan's strength. I've been feeling depressed for so long, and now I can finally have some fun. I hope you can let me enjoy it. Wu Yifan stretched his body. If it weren't for the fact that the enemies he encountered were very powerful, he would have really thought that he was a weakling. However, just when Wu Yifan thought he could finally have some fun, he didn't expect that after just a single encounter, both Chen Feng and Qin Bo were killed by Wu Yifan with a single punch. Wu Yifan was a little surprised when he saw this scene. No, I didn't even try hard, how come you all died? But Wu Yifan didn't care too much. The seventh layer of the ancient saint body's restrictions had been unlocked. Wouldn't it be easy to kill the great sage? If we can't kill him, then there really is something fishy going on. After killing Chen Feng and others, Wu Yifan also inherited the fine tradition of every son of destiny and touched the corpse. A child of destiny who doesn't know how to touch a corpse is not a good child of destiny. Soon, Wu Yifan cleaned the body thoroughly, leaving not even the underpants behind. Seeing this, Wu Yifan nodded with satisfaction, then turned and walked towards So Kyoran. When So Kyoran saw Wu Yifan walking towards her, she finally recovered from her shock and looked at Wu Yifan with vigilance in her eyes. She had never seen such a powerful existence before, who could kill the great sage with just the peak of the refinement void realm. No, there was something wrong with his body. His physical strength was so terrifying. So Kyoran finally realized at this time how terrifying Wu Yifan's body was. It was probably not inferior to that of the Holy King. But now So Kyoran didn't know whether Wu Yifan was an enemy or a friend. Although Wu Yifan had just killed Chen Feng and others, it couldn't prove that Wu Yifan was a good person. What if Wu Yifan just doesn't like sharing with others and prefers to go solo? If Wu Yifan knew what So Kyoran was thinking, he would probably kneel down and beg So Kyoran to stop thinking about it, otherwise his great-grandfather would kill him. Chapter 25. Stop, just stand here, don't come any closer, who are you? When So Kyoran saw Wu Yifan was about to come to her, she finally reacted and spoke up to stop Wu Yifan. After hearing So Kyoran's words, Wu Yifan also stopped obediently. There was nothing he could do. The person in front of him was his great-grandmother. If his great-grandfather knew that he was disrespectful to her, who knows if he would kill him. After seeing Wu Yifan stop, So Kioran breathed a sigh of relief, then looked at Wu Yifan and asked. Who are you? Why did you attack Chen Feng and others? Hearing So Kioran's question, Wu Yifan thought about it and it seemed that his great-grandfather didn't ask him to hide his identity. Thinking of this, Wu Yifan knelt on one knee the next second and spoke respectfully to So Kioran. Wu Yifan, descendant of the Wu family, greets the great-grandmother. Seeing Wu Yifan's sudden action, So Kioran couldn't help but stand there in a daze, but after reacting, the shock in her heart increased instead of decreasing. No, she did know from Wu Hao that they even had a grandson, but Wu Hao didn't say that his grandson was so powerful that even the great sage couldn't defeat him. Suddenly, So Kioran began to doubt her life. No, as a grandmother, her cultivation level was not as good as that of the crown prince. It would be too embarrassing if this got out. However, So Kioran still did not believe Wu Yifan's identity. After thinking about it, she asked some questions, such as who was her great-grandfather and who was her grandfather. Only then did So Kioran believe that Wu Yifan was really her grandson. Get up, grandson. After knowing that Wu Yifan was her grandson, So Kioran's attitude obviously improved a lot, and she quickly asked Wu Yifan to stand up. After thinking about it, So Kioran asked. Did your great-grandfather let you in? Well, my great-grandfather said he was worried that you might be in danger in there, so he asked me to come in and protect your safety. Wu Yifan said it without hesitation. Just kidding, he liked practicing, but that didn't mean he didn't understand the things between men and women. Why not say it if it could enhance the relationship between his great-grandfather and great-grandmother? After hearing Wu Yifan's words, So Kioran's heart was obviously warmed. She didn't expect Wu Hao to be so considerate. However, considering that she was in front of her grandson, So Kioran suppressed her emotion and said with a cough. Well, now that I'm out of danger, you can do what you should do. Although Wu Yifan is her grandson, because it was their first meeting and an unexpected one, So Kioran had not figured out how to get along with Wu Yifan, so letting Wu Yifan leave was the best option. But when Wu Yifan heard this, an ugly expression appeared on his face. No, great-grandmother, great-grandfather ordered me to protect you in there. If anything happens to you or if great-grandfather finds out that I'm away from my post, he'll probably scold me. He dares? Just say it's my words, and go do what you should do. Okay, Grandma, please be safe. If anything happens, contact me. Wu Yifan handed his communication jade stone to So Kioran, then turned around and left. There was another reason why he came to the Hedang secret realm. It was said that the inheritance of the Hedang quasi-emperor contained natural treasures that could help his ancient holy body remove the 8th layer restriction. If he could get them, it would definitely greatly enhance his strength, and he could even take revenge. So Kioran finally breathed a sigh of relief after Wu Yifan left. She didn't let Wu Yifan leave for no reason, because she knew that the enemies Mirong Shui had arranged for her in the secret realm were probably only Chen Feng and the other two. After all, having 3 great saints at the peak of their powers was already luxurious enough. This can be regarded as the strongest means that Mirong Shui can use now, so there shouldn't be another peak great sage. Even if there is another peak great sage, don't we still have the necklace given by my husband? On the other side, Mirong Shui didn't know that the people she sent out had been wiped out. At this time, Mirong Shui felt the opportunity for a breakthrough, so she started the breakthrough in the secret realm without hesitation. As for So Kioran, after the death of Chen Feng and others, she no longer wandered around in the secret realm, but found a place and prepared to break through to the great saint realm. She has been at the peak of sainthood for 2.5 years, and it is time for her to break through to great sagehood. Half a year passed quickly, and in the southern domain at this time, with the overtime work of Wu Rolong and others, base stations in various parts of the Li dynasty had been built one after another. Naturally, this big move by the Wu Chamber of Commerce was soon known to Li Sukin and others. Looking at the information presented by his subordinates, Li Sukin frowned slightly, obviously not knowing what Wu Rolong's purpose was. Everyone, what do you think is the reason for Wu Rolong's action? Li Sukin looked at the ministers below and asked slowly. During this period of time, the ministers of the Li dynasty also witnessed the unusualness of the Wu Chamber of Commerce, so after hearing Li Sukin's questions, they lowered their heads and stammered, not daring to speak. Seeing this, Li Sukin snorted coldly. Why, you all said so loudly before that you would bring the Wu Chamber of Commerce under the command of our Li dynasty, why are you silent now when I ask you? After hearing what Lee Sukin said, they lowered their heads even deeper. During this period, Lee Sukin was very angry because of the business war with the Wu Chamber of Commerce. They were worried that if they stood up, they would be killed by Lee Sukin. Seeing that the ministers were not moved at all, Lee Sukin sighed helplessly, waved his hand with deep fatigue on his face and said, "Okay, you guys go down first." The court was soon dismissed, and Lee Sukin was the only one left in the entire court. At this moment, Lee Sukin's eyes were full of sinisterness. Although he didn't know what Wu Rolong was doing, he knew that if he left it alone, it might bring a fatal blow to his Lee dynasty. So Wu Rolong must be stopped. Thinking of this, Lee Sukin waved his hand, and the next second 5 figures appeared in front of Lee Sukin, and they were hidden players. "You 5, destroy everything that the Wu Chamber of Commerce has built during this period of time. Don't leave any of it alive." "Yes, Your Majesty." The 5 Saint King level spies were quickly dispatched, but what they didn't know was that what Lee Sukin could do was already expected by Wu Rolong. Therefore, when the 5 hidden men were preparing to secretly destroy what the Wu Chamber of Commerce had built, the only outcome that awaited them was death. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.